Hello everybody and welcome back to the Games Done Quick Hotfix. Today we are going to be showcasing Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope. Before we get into that, just a few quick reminders. GDQX will be live from TwitchCon October 20th to 22nd. The event will take place on the Games Done Quick stage, as well as streamed live on the GDQ Twitch channel. Detailed schedule and benefiting charity information will be shared soon. Also, Games Done Quick will be at PAX West 2023, September 1st through 4th. If you're interested in watching live runs or trying your hand at the Speedrun Gauntlet, be sure to head over to the Speedrun stage at PAX West to find out more information. With all that said, I will hand it over to our runner, let him introduce himself. Oh.
Again.
All right, okay. It seems we've got a little bit of technical difficulties, so I will keep talking. Games Done Quick is hiring. If you have experience in social media creation and want to help out at our live events, be sure to go to gamesdonequick.com/jobs to apply.
Sent it. Yeah, that's.
Hopefully that solves it.
I hope so. Hope.
Okay,
sounds good. Yeah, hopefully soon. Cool. We good to go?
Yeah.
Cool. Hey everyone. Scott here. Scott Collar here. We're gonna be running some Mario Rabbids Sparks of Hope. It's not the most speedrun game of all time. We got it's Mario and it's a strategy XCOM game. It's Mario with guns is kind of the quick sell to it. We don't have the biggest speedrun community in the world, but we do have one, and it's a lot of fun. Today's a big day too, for two reasons why running this speedrun at this time is really important. Number one, a week ago, 7 days ago, we got the in-game time of this speedrun to under 2 hours, with the real time being around 2 hours, 15 minutes. And in 2 days, the third DLC with Rayman, if you remember him from back in the day, comes out. So it's a very opportune time for the speedrun. For folks who've played this game, you know it's a ton of fun. We're going to be blasting this game on easy here. Just running through it. Each level's kind of its own puzzle you have to solve, and hopefully we've solved it. I'm going to be following my script that I've made, and we're going to be going. So do you have to set the timer with anyone? Give a 3, 2, 1, go?
Yep.
Is that what we'll do?
Give a 3, 2, 1, go.
All right. So we'll start this run in 3, 2, 1, go. So cutscenes in this game compared to the first are skippable, thank goodness. If you don't know about this game, it's an open world game with encounters. We're just going to be doing the bare minimum levels, obviously, because it's a speedrun. We can't really skip any of the mandatory ones. And the first thing we have to do is kind of like our only puzzle of the game outside the battles. It's find Rabbid Mario's pants. So each character, Mario, Luigi, Peach, you know them. They have their Rabbid counterparts, which are like these rabbit mutant type things. So as we hand him back his pants, we skip all these cutscenes, which are very funny. So I hate that we're skipping them, but and we get into our first battle here. So Mario, I'm gonna kind of explain every character as they come up. Mario, like in most Mario games, is kind of like your jack of all trades. Medium range, medium health, pretty good damage later on because of each character has an ability. His is very strong. We'll get to that later. Each level, oh god, I'm kind of forgetting my speedrun a little bit. Good thing this isn't going to be the most timed in the world. We're just doing the tutorial right now. Again, no way to skip this. Some levels, it's just all about killing people. Some levels, like we saw that last one, it's about reaching a certain area, like that green square. This one here, it's about destroying these dark mess eyes. As you see, Cursa, the evil villain, this new villain to the Mario universe, has come in and put all this black goo everywhere. And our job's to get rid of the goo by throwing stuff at it, shooting enemies that she's sending at us. So yeah. As you can see, our team, we currently have Mario and Rabbid Peach. That will eventually go to 3 people. You can have a team of 3. See, Mario can shoot. Ooh, we get bad RNG on that one, but that's okay. So Peach, Rabbid Peach, sorry, who we start with here, she's the healer of the bunch. She has medium to long range, Kind of low damage, but she heals a ton if you need it, which is good in those when you're in the normal and hard difficulties. Not so much in this difficulty here. So unfortunately, we're going to go and have to move up and shoot with this person here. Every turn you can move. As you can see, we can shoot, we can dash people. So there's a lot of things we can do, and then we also have abilities which you just haven't unlocked yet. And as we get to the last level of our tutorial, so we can dash those Goombas, and then I'm going to hide behind this place here so that I can shoot them and still take cover so I don't take damage. Also, we can team jump, as we can see here. And you can see if I press ZR at the bottom right of your screen, I have that, there's that bullseye. That's his ability, where if someone moves in Mario's range, he shoots them. We're not going to use it this time, but each character has a different ability. So his, we call it a hero sight reaction shot. So if someone moves in his range, pop, pop, they get shot. Which is really strong later because it doesn't have a cooldown. And very strong. Peaches, for instance, heals in a AoE. I'm just going to go like this, and we shoot, and we're going to be done the tutorial just like that. 4 levels, done. Now we're going to get into our first planet. Huzzah. And skip some cutscenes. We're going to choose our difficulties. Is there a cutscene percent run? I'm not sure. No, there isn't. We measure everything with in-game time because the load screens seem to vary between systems and people. So, yeah. So it's a shame this speedrun doesn't allow us to hear the dialogue and see all the characters from the side quests and stuff. Like, we look at Augie here, and I wish I could let the dialogue run because it's really funny. I think the game, what I like about games in general is if they don't take themselves too seriously. So a game like this really doesn't, in the sense that the gameplay works really well, but the dialogue, like, it knows it's a game. It knows it's Mario shooting a bunch of Rabbids and stuff. So I think it's fantastic. So we're in this open world of this planet right now. As you can see, it's a little rainy. This is still kind of almost the last tutorial level. And now we fight Bob-ombs who can kill other Bob-ombs. So we're going to skip here. So here's where we could manage our team. We're not going to do that just yet. Going to dash this Bob-omb, and then we have the ability to pick up and throw. Ooh, almost those close. And shoot these other ones here. And then we're going to use the team jump here, so I could pick this Bob-omb up. Jump up top. We barely make it here, but it's doable. And kill this guy here, and that's going to be it. So each level, like I mentioned, has like different objectives. You can always look at them in the top left. So that one was defeat all. There was 9 Bob-ombs there, and we defeated all of them. Oops. I don't know if we're going to hit sub 2. Someone says, I hate people's voice. Fair. I appreciate the fact that it was voice acted at all, which I feel like we don't get much nowadays. Oh my gosh. Very slow map movement there, but that's all right. I'm not going to dwell on too hard on like the small mistakes that might happen. If you played Kingdom Battle, one of the biggest differences in this one is that the crits, aren't as punishing, or aren't as I'll say punishing as the first game compared to this game. So now we get into the real game starts because we switch our teams around. So for instance, I look at my script, it says put in Rabbid Mario, put in Luigi, and change some things around here. So I'm going to put in Rabbid Mario, put in Luigi, go to the skill tree, take out his health, and add this here as fast as possible. Sometimes the menuing is good, sometimes I'm not so good with it. And this is another level. If you look in the top left after this goes away, it says reach area. So we actually don't have to kill anyone here. Sometimes it's good because it takes time. Like if I kill these Goombas, it's faster to kill these Goombas than for them to move on their turn, for instance, right? Because this takes time. These guys take time. But sometimes it doesn't. So it's finding that balance. It's playing each level, 10, 15 times with different combinations, like of all the 9 heroes, the different sparks, which we haven't even got to yet. And then finding out which one's the fastest. And while I think we're close with the route, I just set the world record, like I said, a week ago. And then someone commented, a person named KG, who's done a fantastic job of kind of keeping me honest and finding new ideas. They said, hey, look, oh, hold on. I think I found a faster way. So that was, 2 turns there. They're like, I think I found a 1 turn or a 2 turn somewhere else. where you did it 3 turns. I'm like, perfect. And we're going to try it out today. So,
awesome. I love new strats. I think that's
absolutely
one of the cooler things
absolutely
with games like this, where it's like, it is such a complicated game with so many moving parts that there's so many like new things you can try, and sometimes they just work even though they shouldn't.
100%. And even there's kind of 2 new strats that were kind of involved, and one of them was a boss fight. And like things, even though I played this game for it's like 200 hours now, and things you just kind of forget about because they're not like the OP strat, but it's kind of this niche strat that only works a certain amount of time. So I'm sure we can go lower than my run for sure. In fact, there's a few mistakes in that one, and there's less RNG that compared to the first game. So yeah.
Speaking of RNG, does this suffer from like the hit percentages being like terrible? Like, oh, this is going to be 80%, and then it like misses half the time.
No, but the first game suffered from that a lot. So this game, why I like it a little bit more is, at least on the speedrun side of things, is because in the old game, if you crit, like you would have those 100, like you said, 70% crit chances, but if you miss, you wasted a full hour run. Like there's no way you can come back. This game doesn't have those. Like, yes, they can help a little bit, but we're talking seconds rather than like minutes. That the fact that I didn't kill that guy actually kind of sucks. But so that'd be an example of a low roll. So once I switch back to Luigi, that's all the time that's going to be lost here. So for example, we didn't do enough damage, so we're going to go 1, 2. Oh no, we can't do anything here. So we'll see. Anyways, kind of an example of a low roll here. Maybe a 3-second time loss on it though, not several minutes. So someone says we can see the corner glitch today. That's in the first one. KG, good to see you here. Hope Wiggler is nice to you. Yeah, Wiggler, obviously in the Mario universe, is the yellow caterpillar thing, and is one of the bosses, and has the ability to generate some good RNG or some bad RNG in terms of where they position. And that's a fight that you want to spend a lot of time on if you want to speedrun this game, and try every variation for sure. So yeah. This level, again, look at that top left. It says reach area. Okay, we're going to try to use some jumps. Take some time to kill these guys because it takes less time to kill them than for them to move and do some damage to us. So. Yeah, someone said you can move Mario 100%. In the old game, Mario had to be part of your team. And while he's good later on, it did feel a little trapped. Let's talk about some of the more characters here. We see Rabid Mario. He's the close-up specialist. He's got a decent health pool, but he does a ton of damage, but only at a very short range. His ability is like a counter attack, so he essentially puts a mirror on himself. If he gets hit, he deals some of that damage back. Incredibly powerful. Incredibly powerful. As we get into our first boss fight here, also, we're going to switch our team up. We want Mario in here because he's got that reaction shot. And we're good to go. And we see Rabbid Edge here. So this cool looking Rabbid here makes her way in, and I'll explain a bit about who she is in a second here. We're gonna hero sight. That's what I'm doing. We're using our abilities, and we're gonna starburst. So that's the spark that makes everyone do a lot more damage. Then we're gonna take Luigi. We're gonna go hide here, and we're gonna shoot. I call them Tony, like Tony the Tigers. I think they're actually called Wild Claws. But you see, Tony started moving because he was mad, and he was in Luigi's range. So therefore, our guy shot him. So Edge here is kind of like a mid long range specialist-ish. As he moves. Now Mario gets to shoot. 82 health. Edge should finish them off here. So those three have the exact same ability. If someone moves within their view, they kill them, or they try to at least. So powered up with the sparks as well, that all their damage gets amplified here for sure. Oops. And we have to do some teleporting here to the lighthouse. Here we go, I think. Talking more than I usually do. Especially in games like this where there's like a lot of notes and everything, that could be a little harder than most other games. Yes, yeah. The first planet I'm a little better on for memorizing some of the stuff, but once we get later on, like at hour 2, my brain, I think most people's brains are pretty pretty mush when they're trying to remember things. So every map, I look at my script. I say, who do we change out? Which sparks do we change out? Do we have to level anything? And then there's also that skill tree, like an RPG, I mentioned. So we saw. So this is one of those times we're gonna do all the above. So gotta focus here for a sec. We're gonna put Rabbid Mario in. Get Mario out of there. And we want Starburst on him. And so we can level our sparks up too. So you can see this one does now 10% bonus damage. I want to do this. And then we want to do give him extra crit chance, or give her extra crit chance, sorry. And do some damage here. So this one's a defeat all, I believe. And this one you have to be a little particular on where you stand. So you kind of have to stand at a certain spot so you can try to hit all 3 people, because her blade's pretty wide. And that was not a good spot. And this should be better. Hopefully you get some crits. I see some big crits there, and this should kill the Wild Claw. Or the Tony. Perfect. So we get a bit of a quicker rotation on this one here. So instead of what I would consider 3.1 turns, it's just a 2.3 turn battle, which is fantastic because we used 2 rounds, or actually 1 round, sorry, 1.3. And we didn't have to wait for any opponents there. So I'm going to shoot and we'll be good to go. Next up is kind of the boss fight. And again, another thing I like about the boss fights in this game is they're not all just like defeat strong person like we just did with the Tony the Tiger. This next one, for instance, is going to be defeat a bunch of dark mess eyes. So what we do is we put in our people who can AoE, hit a lot of targets at once. So not Mario, not Rabbid Rosalina, who we don't have just yet. And so on and so forth. We also have some puzzles. Again, it's an open world game. Most of them pretty simple, I'll say. There's kind of one complicated one near the end. But you pick stuff up, move it around. So I've kind of talked about Mario all around. Luigi's long-range specialist, Rabbid Mario. We're not going to see a few people till later, but I might as well talk about him now as we avoid this Wild Claw, or this Tony the Tiger here. Rabbid Luigi, who we're not going to put in here, is like the multi-target specialist. He doesn't do a ton of damage, but what he does do, and we'll see it in the Wiggler fight, is he can target up to like, I think 9 targets at once, 7 targets at once, and it can be very beneficial. The rest is whatever. His ability weakens other people, which we don't really need in this type of speedrun where we're just kind of brute forcing our way through all 35 levels, because we regenerate some health every time going forward. And we get ready for this boss fight here. As you can see, all this dark mess taking over the lighthouse. We need some light up in here. So we're actually going to see Peach for the first time. Like I mentioned, Peach does a bunch of AoE damage. And so we're going to get Peach in, and we're going to equip a spark to her, but not use it because we're going to do it later. So switch in here. We'll go with this. And we're going to do some team jumps, and hopefully,
let's finish this.
As Edge just said, let's finish this. Hopefully we'll finish this. So all these eyes on the right side in this volcano, we want to be able to kill all of them here. Perfect. That kills 5 eyes right there. We need to get Edge to the far side of the volcano. We can talk about Peach right now. Peach is she's a protector, so she is similar to Rabbid Peach in the fact that she's a bit more utility, and her damage is like pretty mediocre, I'm not gonna lie, but she does a large cone, as we can see. We kill all these dark mess eyes, and we just beat the first world here in a second here, once we go back to the ship. So that's the first boss battle. Again, this game on easy mode, when you're doing it like this game looks super easy, but I guarantee for those people who think this game might be a little too easy, or too kiddie, whatever, too cartoony, whatever you might think, I implore you to try this game on demanding difficulty, the hard difficulty, and levels do take you a hot second. You do have to plan your moves out. Just because I'm running through it very quickly right now doesn't say anything about the lack of ease in this game.
You also have the benefit of having planned out all of these fights meticulously multiple times, so
100%. Yeah, what you're seeing is the culmination of hours of, sometimes you're sitting an hour and a half on one level, just switching between the 9 characters, switching between, I think there's like 40 sparks, and just trying to what's the best combination. So I'll say the speedrun, like I said, it's like, I don't want to say figured out, but you're watching a very figured out version of it, of someone doing a puzzle. So it's maybe not the most enticing in the world, but it hopefully gives you a good sight of, because Mario Rabbids kind of, we don't get much speedrun notoriety here. And we also get these abilities in the real world. So this one, there's some obstacles. Again, the open world, we have this beep ability, as you can see, with this purple. And we got to get to our next level somehow, and they put some blocks in our way. I will say, again, if you're going to take the time to play this game and demanding difficulty or whatever you want, there's so many side quests, and again, so many like fun characters, again, because the game doesn't take itself too seriously. So we're in a snowy planet. Pristine Peaks is what it's called. So now we're going to see what items do. So items, not only can you shoot, you can dash, you can use your abilities, sparks, but you can also buy items, which you saw me do there. And now some of them just get to make you move double, for instance. Now I've got to switch some teams out. I almost forgot. 1 second. We get Luigi in, because these are our movers for sure. And crit damage, and I want to be able to land right. So now Luigi can jump off two teammates in one turn. So what we're going to do here is use an item on Rabbid Peach that allows her to move essentially double the distance. So you'll see the white line, that's as far as I can go, but I'm going to use an item, a footwork item, and now I can move again if I wanted to. Mind you, it does use an action point, so I can't just keep doing those in these reach area games. Oh, I was not supposed to do that. Let's throw that away. Let's throw that away. All right, now we go back to Rabbid Peach, and this is, again, another level that I was doing in 2 turns, and someone on one of my followers on Twitch was like, hey, I think I've got it down to like, a quicker 2 turns, and I was like, great. So I went back and I put on the level for, a solid hour, and then I found a way to do it in 1 turn. So, but if they didn't tell me that, there's no way I would have went back to this level, because I thought it was figured out. So there's always something, and kudos to their name's like Good Day. They've been watching since kind of I've started playing Mario Rabbids, so kudos to them for making me want to go back and look at this level, and then now be able to do this in 1 turn. So what we're going to do with Luigi here is jump off Rabbid Peach, sorry, go around this ice block, and we get to this green area here.
I think it's also really cool that this allows you to swap, like you have a turn in which you can freely move between all of your characters, instead of other games where it's like this unit has a turn and then this unit has a turn. I think that's a really cool gameplay aspect.
I 100% agree. And sometimes I look at like the reviews and stuff, and maybe it's just, one negative review sticks in your head more than all the good ones and stuff. And I don't obviously work for this game or anything, but I'm sometimes shocked at like the negative reviews. I'm not going to say this is the best in the world, but I think comparing this, I just think if you don't like strategy games, you're not going to like this game, obviously. But the elements they've put in to make this game good, except for those, exactly what you're saying, the movability, like it feels good to do a lot of damage and like do some cool stuff, and this game allows you to do that, which I really like. And we do some cool stuff in the speedrun. I can't wait to show more of this. But as someone's saying, all the characters thoughtfully designed, 100%. Putting a comp together, like it's fun to just like theorize, like what can you do? Again, these 3 people I have in right now, not the highest damage dealers. Oh, forgot to do this. But they're like the movement squad. If it's a reach area level, you can guarantee all these 3 can move pretty good. That's what Rabbid Peach also does well. I mentioned she's a healer. Her movement ability is quite strong. Her movability. Next fight here, we're going to put in, we need to do some damage, so we're going to take out Luigi and put in a Rabbid Mario. And so many small things as well, like when it comes to the speedrun, like the technicalities of the speedrun, there are quite a few like small things you can do that save you seconds per level. And I'll try to explain them here once I make sure I follow my script in a second. So I'm going to go to Mario Rabbids skills. I'm going to reset them. And make sure he does some damage, but also has some health. So switching between characters, you can see everyone in the bottom left, top, middle, bottom. And which character you switch to next saves time. Like if I spend time switching to the wrong character, like if I switch to Peach there, that wastes a second, or like half a second. But you switch between characters so much in this game that if you keep doing that, you're wasting a lot of time. So it's important to know like who on your roster is where. Do I have to press up or down on my D-pad? You know, when I'm switching between who's next, for instance, right? And Peach with the damage here. And so sometimes as well, before I exited that turn, I switched to Rabbid Peach because I want the camera to go to her because I know she's starting next. Ooh, and I got burned here, but those are some good, that's decent burn RNG. So while it doesn't affect this too much, because we just have to move Peach there, so, you know, a full second or so loss, but again, the RNG in this game, compared to Kingdom Battle, where I'm used to, like, absolutely getting hosed in hour, you know, whether it's hour 3 of the main story or later or in less, like a minute 50 in the Donkey Kong DLC. I can't complain. It's too good in this game. As you can see, Rabbid Mario can also attack through barriers like these, which is just, I think that's the most broken part about him, among other things, but I think that's probably his strongest asset. As we do a little team jump. So we used a spark, and everyone in the game, or most champs, have a type ability. Like, easiest way to think of it, because most people know Pokemon, is like Pokemon. So that was a fire guy right there. So I attached a water spark and I used it. So I do splash damage. I do water damage. And therefore it's a super effective hit. So it does more damage. So we needed to do that there to guarantee a kill. Otherwise it's not necessarily guaranteed or even kind of given here. Now, we talked about Luigi and Mario having that ability that if someone moves in your sight, that they shoot them. As you can see, the enemies also have this ability. So that's what these red rings are on the ground. And that's what I find also really cool, is that you have to kind of play around the ability. Your opponents having similar abilities to you. Oops. They can heal sometimes. You know, every character, like these snipers, have different, only have that ability, right? Everyone only has one. But each person has an ability, so you have to play against it. And we purposely get hit there because there's a bug that can happen if you do it while you get shot while midair. So we're going to dash this person and shoot in a cone and finish them off. Huzzah, huzzah, huzzah. And now we go on to kind of the mid boss, if you want to consider it. But there's no actual boss. It's more of a level. We need 400 star bits here. We've already got them. As you can see in the top right, we collect those. That's what upgrades our sparks. And if ooh, okay, that was very close. Usually the Ice Tony almost got me there. Side missions. Someone said some sparks are only available in side missions, and so yeah, we won't see the full roster here. Did that affect the speedrun? So when I first played this game, I think I even like tweeted out, I said there's no way this game's going to be speedrunnable, or it's going to be, the options are going to be too endless. Every game's speedrunnable, of course, but because there's like 40 sparks, 9 champions per level, like you have to also consider like menuing in between. So even though one team might finish the game quicker, but if you have to spend 45 seconds in the menus to get them there, it actually might not be worth it. So it doesn't really deter us because I think the side spark, long story short, I think it would take too long to get those side sparks. Do those side missions and then get the sparks to potentially save like a turn or two. But that's where my mind went initially as well. So thankfully, just doing the bare minimum, you get enough sparks. As you might have seen after that last level, we got one called Ethering, which turns you invisible, which is a very good spark in the main game. Very good. And we will use that later for sure. So it gives you enough of the good sparks, in my opinion, that you don't need to do the side missions. But yeah, when I first saw this game, I thought, wow, the options are like, it's too overwhelming. My brain is too smooth and too small to be able to handle all this. Thankfully, if you just like pull your head down and go through, you're going to be all right. So here's a fun level. It used to give me so much anxiety because I thought it was going to be really hard, but I figured it out now by upgrading some of our sparks. We kind of guarantee some damage. Oops, we're going to do this. As I look at my thing here, we're going to make sure he has Starburst, and we're going to upgrade them because we need the extra damage boost from Starburst. It's one of our main sparks we use, probably the most used. And this Reflector one. So this reflects damage back, but what each spark has, it has a passive ability as well. And the Reflectors is just % damage on their weapon. So for Luigi, being far away, because he's a long-range specialist, he does more damage the further he is away from a target. Well, the more damage he does. So now we're increasing that damage as well by 10. Fun thing we're going to do here. I just hero sighted, which means if someone moves in my sight, I shoot them. Well, if I dash someone, they fly up in the air. Well, that's in Mario's sight. As you're going to see, a dash, I look back at him, get shot for the kill. So a lot of like fun combos like that. Like the game, I don't think really limits you in terms of, oops, there's some wasted time, but that's all right. Like some fun, it doesn't shy away from allowing you to do fun combos, in my opinion. Someone said, such a fun game, too bad it flopped. I have heard that the game didn't sell as well, and it is a shame. And that's why, like, hopefully this speedrun, I'm trying to make this, like, this game is incredibly fun. It's a lot more fun when you're not speedrunning it, so you can enjoy the dialogue, actually play through the game and do those side missions, obtain all the sparks, and try the different combos. So, yeah. It's a good time. I can't say enough good about this game. So obviously we're trying to destroy these big these pillars that shoot wind. They can't, again, if you play this game not on easy, this level's hard. It's a hard level. There's no two ways about it. We'll switch to Luigi here. And we want to dash this guy. Hopefully we kill him. Hopefully your Rabid Peach did enough damage. If not though, yeah, we did. Okay. So we're gonna shoot this thing here. Again, Luigi's far away, so he does a ton of damage. Plus, we gave him that spark that just amplifies his damage. We won't use the active on it. And we only use it once in the entire game. But it's the damage, that passive, that we really like. And that's another thing I like about this game as well, is those passives as well also add to the flexibility of it. The maze is coming 2 levels from, or like after 1 more level. And the maze is probably one of the most infamous parts of their run too, so we'll get to that in a sec. We'll get to that in a sec.
I like that this game. Go ahead.
Pristine
I was gonna say, I
no, you go.
So many, like, this is such a fleshed out game. Like, there's so many different options and, like, neat things that they added that you wouldn't expect from a Mario game. Like,
absolutely. You said it kind of in, like, the pre-meeting there. It's interesting that this Mario allowed their IP to be used by like a gun game, pretty much. I know it's like kid, there's no blood, but you're 100% right, and it's so fun to use these characters. I know, because I think this game would sell miserably if this was just like Rabid 1, like there was no identifiable characters, right? So I think they did such a good job with this game here, with making it fun, like recognizable characters. And then you get to just like shoot stuff. Okay, ooh, I gotta go quick here. So the only thing in this level here is you can't get hit by the wind, or I'll say run over, but it won't be for us. So I'm looking at the wind right now. It's sucking and now it's blowing. And I'm gonna jump right now because we have to do a double jump with Luigi. We want to be as far back as possible with Luigi because, again, further back he is, the more damage, which is around right here. And we'll kill it here. Perfect. Okay. Someone says, does this have a big speedrun community? No, it doesn't. I'd say there's like a handful of us. And again, as the game's really good, the speedrun is you're just doing, you know, like there's little variance to the game, because if you move the characters the same way every time, the opponents will move the same way pretty much every time. Like there's very few exceptions. Oops. So, you know, as long as you're like okay with, I mean, I think most speedrunners are, with like repetition, right? Of like not much variance, not the highest skill mechanic games. I mean, I'm a washed up gamer. There's no way I should be having 2 world records in this and the old one. So, but that's kind of why I like it. It's more of a thinking person's game, and then just bashing your head against a wall. So as long as you can do that, like most speedrunners do. Thanks, Emma. Appreciate that. We get up to this next level here. Cold Greeting is what it's called. And you do get levels. That's something I didn't mention as well. So like this is a level 10. When you do the speedrun, you kind of just like passively level pretty good. So this is something that can be ignored, which is really nice. I like this level. It's not bad. Hold on. Gotta focus up here. Got to make this spark. So it's an electric spark. So again, if you're thinking of like Pokemon, what does electric do good against? Well, it does good against water. So we're facing some water folks here. So we're gonna Electroid. So now my gun does electric damage instead of just like normal damage, which it normally does. And then we're gonna shoot these. They kind of look like, you know, seahorses almost type people. And that's we're going to do extra damage, and it's going to kill the first two guys, which is what we care about. This is another example. I'm going to use a hero sight, so if someone moves in my range, I shoot them, and I'm going to dash both of them and shoot them. We don't kill them here, but that's okay because Rabbid Mario is going to do it. And then we're going to shoot. Top guy. Hopefully we hit him with one. We hit him with one. Okay, perfect. 50% chance to hit on each shot there. And we'll dash both of them. You can dash up to 3 people in a row in a line if they are like that. And another thing broken about Rabbids Mario is his ability to hit in a 180-degree range. He's like a GoPro's vision is what his range is pretty much it. So it's pretty strong. He's a little busted. We're gonna team jump. We want Mario and Peach to be on the same side now. And we're gonna kill this last sniper. As you can see, we have to defeat 12 people. Look at the top left. We have to defeat 12 people, but there's only one guy left because so levels like this do take time. Like people are gonna spawn, and with these portals that are gonna pop up here, and we'll be good like this. So remember how Peach has that water spark attached? She also is immune to water damage, or takes significantly less. It's like 50%. So not only do you get the benefit of using that power, but you also get the resistances as well. Like I become a water type character, which is kind of neat. So like each level, again on like normal and hard mode, it'd be good to attach someone who's dying a lot with a water spark. We want to do this. So we want to do hero sight and buff our hero sight up with a starburst so that if anyone moves, they get tons of damage put against them. And as we do this, did the devs explain why they dropped the Yoshi duo? They're definitely my favorite in Kingdom Battle. That's interesting because I think obviously Yoshi's like a fan favorite across the board. My brother's like I only play Yoshi in every Mario game, and if there's no Yoshi, I don't play kind of guy. But it's obviously personal preference. But I was like, the Yoshis came so late in the last game that like I don't know if it's hard to like them too much in my opinion. But obviously you did. There was no explanation in my opinion. They replaced him with Edge, a new character, and I think they wanted that hype of like a bad rabbit, a bad girl, So I think they did a good job. Okay, here's the maze coming up. So this is super fun unless you want to speedrun, because you have to take your time unless you want to risk losing the speedrun. What are we, like 30 minutes in? So it's all about not getting spotted by these folks because they chase you down and there's nowhere really to go. So we actually got some bad RNG because that guy looked at me. Now, there are ways to speed this up, but again, it's risky. So like for instance, and if you can hear the music, every step you take, like a note plays as well. The music is made by Grant, can't remember his last name, but he's a great video game music composer. Every step you take, it's like this sneaky little, these strings play, and it's a ton of fun. Ooh, we're gonna get good RNG here. We're gonna pop these. Ooh. And we're gonna hide here. So back in my early days of speedrunning this game, I would try to risk this all the time and run around these guys. But if you get spotted, they chase you down, like I said. And if you get hit by them, you just lose like tons of time. Ooh. Okay, we're good here. Grant Kirkhope, is that his name? Kirkhope, yes, that's right. Someone in chat, thank you. Okay, now we're looking at the far person because, okay, we're good. We're good. So we got spotted, but that's okay because when their backs are turned, we'll be all right. So here's the maze. Looked pretty simple, but as you saw, we have to like wait a good amount of time. The quickest I've ever done it when I practiced it was 57 seconds for that maze. On the world record run, it was 1:11 because just due to RNG. I don't know what that one was, but I think it was fine. Average, I'd say. So is this the Resident Evil 4 remake? Yeah, something like that.
Somebody a little earlier on asked, does this game add any like notable lore to the Mario universe?
I don't want to spoil the end kind of thing, but our main villain is like, we get a new villain. So like Cursa, for instance, but we kind of solve it in this game. Like spoiler, Cursa does get defeated. So it's nothing that I think carries on. So I don't think so. Not to the Mario universe itself, maybe to the Mario Rabbids specific universe. But yeah, so nothing too crazy here. So we're just doing some puzzles right now. You might have thought that last puzzle, like you just ran through some rooms. Again, it's a fun one because if you go in the wrong door, you start at the beginning. So the first playthrough of that puzzle is a lot of, I think it's a lot of fun because you have to remember, okay, I went in this door, and then this door, then this door. And if you screw up once, you start at the beginning. Obviously, when you speedrun it, you know which doors you're going through, so it looks like you just run through 3 doors and you're good to go. Yeah, so anyways, yeah. That's all I really know about the lore kind of thing, but yeah, not too, doesn't add too much, which I think is fine because it is, like I said, it's not a game that takes itself too seriously. I probably wouldn't want much of the lore to be dictated from this game.
I think it's also like really cool, like having these open world sections where you're just running around. Like, I think that fits so well into into Mario. And like, this is a great gameplay decision. Is what I'm trying to get at. Like this.
Yes, 100%. And I see this, again, this part debated as we're getting into our second big boss fight with a rabbit named Midnight. But that the open world isn't great compared to the first one. They like the linear, but I'm like, give me that freedom to go wherever. Again, we don't in this speedrun, but in the normal game, like you can just explore whatever, take your time, fight side bosses when you want to, but you're not forced to. All right, we're introduced now to our next Rabbid. Rosalina joins our team. We're gonna make some switches here though before I do that. So Rabbid Rosalina just pumps out single target damage like it's nobody's business. The strongest single target person in the game, especially when you juice her up with all the fun bits. Her character, her ability makes people sleep around her, so they like miss a turn, which is really strong. We use it a bit later, and we'll note it then. But pretty much she shoots like 40 bullets, as you can see, and all of them electroded. And it just does tons of damage. Each one does more damage than the last if you upgrade them that way. So it's a lot of fun. So there's 3 stages to this boss fight. Surprise, it's a Mario boss fight. That's what they do. 3 stages for every boss. So all 3, I'd say it's a pretty easy boss, all things considered. Especially the second level here, the second phase. Just got to do this. We got to start Electroid, so she does electric damage. Then we're going to Starburst to make her do an extra like 20% damage. And then we just go and shoot and kill. Very simple boss fight here. They made Midnight like super close to the beginning, which I don't know why. But hey, again, as a speedrunner, I like it. And again, on like normal and hard difficulty, these bosses have like triple the health. Like there's no way you can do what we're doing in a hard difficulty by any means. All right, now we use all 4 characters in this one. We Starburst, get everyone pumped up. So that's who got my minigun. Yes, the good point there. It's the same gun that Yoshi had in the previous game. So some people also didn't love that some of those guns were like replicated but given to someone else, for instance. But hey, that's okay. I don't mind Rabbid Rosalina. I think she's all right. She does so much damage that it's hard not to like her. So good for the speedrun, so I gotta like her. And Yoshi he was good for the speedrun later on in Kingdom Battle, but didn't see him until like halfway through World 4 or something like that. So all right, we've already electroded here. What I like about Rabbid Rosalina, she shoots, again, multiple bullets. Ooh, did we get this? And so you can break barrier, so you can shoot at a barrier knowing that you're going to break it. And then the bullets at the end will do enough damage. Cool. That's World 2 about to be completed here. Once I go back to the ship. And here we go. DD King says, Rabbid Rosalina, one of my favorite characters to use. 100%. She's so strong, and the sleep ability, which again we'll see later, is just bonkers. It saves you a lot of time, puts all those enemies to sleep. They can't use their turn. All right, now we're on Palette Prime. I think it's like Palette Prime. It's spelled like Palette Prime. English, maybe not my strongest suit. That's all right. We're skipping good dialogue, funny dialogue. That's all right. Where is Bowser? Stay tuned. Stay tuned. We might be getting him this planet, potentially. I think I've explained all the characters here now. I'll just do a quick rundown. Maybe you didn't join, you weren't here right at the beginning, and that's totally okay. So Mario, like most Mario games, he's kind of like your overall mid-range, mid-damage, until later he does a lot of damage. Champ, I'll say. Rabid Mario, short-range specialist, tons of damage, but only from limited range. Luigi, long-range specialist. The further he is away from someone, the more damage he does. Rabid Luigi, he hits multiple targets for not a lot of damage, and his movement ability is really good. So he can also move very far, which is very beneficial in a speedrun. As we switch here, and we go like this, we go Toxic Quake, and we're good to go. I'm going to put a pause on some of those characters right now, because one of the sparks that we just equipped is kind of does an AoE grenade around Mario. So like we talked about, there's different types in this game. There's water, there's electric, lightning, if you want to, I just equate everything to Pokemon. There's also poison, so that's what this Toxic Quake does. So it's going to do an AoE bomb around me, kill a bunch of people, as you're going to see, in waves, bam, bam, and it does damage over time. We don't need the overtime because we kill everything quickly here. As we go back to Rabbid Rosalina. And that's going to be, and this Toxic Quake stuff, these grenades that explode around us. Oh my gosh, I actually screwed up here. I forgot to put in Rabid Mario. So we are going to try it. So this is a definite screw up on my part. Let's see what we can do. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay, we screwed up here. We're going to... yeah, we screwed up here. I wouldn't have this. This level would be over by now. I'm not too stressed about it. We're gonna be fine. Ah, shoot. Okay.
I mean, yeah, these kind of things do happen, but also
Shucks.
like it's neat to be able to see like, oh well, you need to figure out what to do now, and that kind of thing in a speedrun is also cool.
Yes. 100%. So if this happened in a real run, this would definitely be a restart. I'm not going to do that, of course, right now. But yeah, I'm gonna just have to figure out what to do. I've never done this before because usually I shut my yap and I pay attention to what's happening here. Let's see. No world records broken today by any means. Let's do this. Let's take Rabid Rosalina, and what we can do here is that kill? Kills. Okay, so we did it. But again, a solid loss of about 30 seconds there, but that's okay. So sometimes you get in those situations where either you mess up or maybe a crit doesn't hit as good, potentially, and then you kind of figure out what to do. Rabid Rosalina, that's correct. So there's no Rosalina. We can't play as Rosalina, but there's a Rabid version of almost everyone else. We have Rabid Edge as well, but there's no Edge. But then we have Bowser, and there's no Rabid Bowser, very sadly. I think that'd be great. Rabid Bowser would be tons of fun. So we just get a new ability here. So we had a purple laser before in the open world. Now we get a yellow laser, and it just sees hidden things. Nothing too fancy about it. Someone says they just found out they're taller than Yao Ming. That's actually nuts. I'm going to take your word for it. Stop the run. That's cool. That's great. It's actually nuts. Okay, now I have to actually get Rabid Mario in here because otherwise we'd be pooped. Okay, I really like, so this, I mean, I plotted a lot of these. Oh no, actually I'm going to restart the level because I did the thing I just said I wasn't going to do. But that's okay. I like this run because this level in particular, there's nothing too fancy about it, but I just think it's routed super well. Like it was kind of a complicated level to do. It's just one of those ones that like, hey, after you solve a puzzle and you finally solve it and you're like, wow, this can't get much better. It's one of those ones. So yeah, I think it's to toot my own horn, I think it was done pretty well. And I'm glad to be able to show it off here. So again, what we hero sighted with Mario. So if anyone moves in his sight, but then we get to dash someone, so we get to force someone to move in his sight, which is just like so strong. Which is fantastic. Grab Rosalina going now. The Rabbids are definitely not rabid. Oh, one of the biggest things, I can't believe I haven't talked about this yet, was in the previous game, Rabbids didn't talk. They just, they made rabid noises, just like, I don't know, funny groans and moans and things like that. In this game, they actually say, like, they speak English, and I'm assuming other languages, they speak other languages. Everyone had their, like, I like it or I don't like it. It was different, right? So everyone had their opinions on it right away. I think it's grown on me. Like, we just heard Rabid Mario there. If I kept my mouth shut, he's like, hey, take it easy. He's like a big Italian guy. He has some pretty good quotes there. Nothing too fancy here. We put those people to sleep. I didn't mention that. But just so they wouldn't move. And again, putting people to sleep so they don't move is shorter than them moving. So it's worth to do. All right, we have another boss battle coming up. This is like a full boss battle. And this one does take some setup. Hey, can you do an example of Rabbid speak? What did they sound like? It's been a while since I played the first game. But they would just give like... I'm not going to do it. I was really going to do it, but...
No pressure.
I don't think anyone wants to... We'll get like... Yeah. They would give a bunch of BWAHs, like blahs and stuff. Maybe that's as good as you're going to get. A blah. They got cheesy one-liners. Absolutely. I think, Rabid Rosalina's character is all about being like too sleepy, too tired. And so she's like, oh, do we have to do this? Like, just adds a little spice rather than if she was just doing the blahs and stuff. Okay, we're fighting a boss called Bedrock here, but we're also seeing the one, the only Bowser teaming up with Mario saying, hey, listen, this dark mess stuff's a little crazy. I'll join you. But let's banana, absolutely. Okay, I need to focus here because there's a lot of things I need to switch here before we fight Bedrock. All right. So I'm adding a spark called Glitter. And this brings everyone around you. It's a disco ball. Brings everyone to the dance floor. Brings everyone to you. Starburst Reflector. All right. Let's do this. We autofill, but we get rid of this stuff. And we bring in this. Oh, Rabbit Rosalina. And this. Gotta go. And all those things, like I can't explain obviously what all those do, but here's Bowser right away here, folks. So I'm gonna use this glitter thing. I want to bring this Bedrock person over here. So what you're supposed to do, how this boss is supposed to be, you see these leaves kind of the bottom right of your screen, and they have like bombs underneath them or these hidden barrels. Is Bedrock, whenever she gets hit from a gun, she jumps up and slams the ground. Well, obviously, we want Bedrock to do that above those bombs to take a bunch of damage. So you're supposed to bring her across all 4 regions of the map. And then, because she doesn't take much damage unless you power yourself up, which is what we're doing. So now Bowser's going to shoot, and you're going to see an example of... So the AoE damage that Bowser does, she jumps up, isn't going to hit the bombs here, but it's going to run close to him. Now we're going to take Mario. We're going to hero sight because when she jumps up, that's movement. We're going to kill a Goomba first because it guarantees that we do more damage on the second shot. When Bedrock jumps up, we're going to shoot her again. She's going to slam to the barrels, do a ton of damage to herself before we switch to Rabid Rosalina here. And I believe we Electroid, yeah. So we can do... Someone actually just posted in the Speedrun forums that they could do this in 1 turn. I haven't practiced it enough, and they were playing on Invulnerable, where like your champions don't take damage. Haven't tested it enough to see if it's possible and doable myself. So we're gonna stand right at the edge of the barrels here, and at the edge of her range, we're gonna shoot. Am I ready for Rayman? Absolutely. It's another DLC of Mario Rabbids. Count me in. Ooh. This might not be good because I took so much damage earlier This might be very bad. I think this is actually terrible. Yeah, because I took so much damage earlier. Oh no. Okay. Okay, we are in uncharted territory, folks. Oh no. This is gonna take a lot longer. Yeah. Shoot, I should have healed. Let's figure this out together here, folks. That's okay. That's okay. We'll dash here. We'll shoot here. Oh, Mario's gonna take some damage too, though. Okay. 332 health. Oh boy. Oh no. Oh boy. Okay, it's fine. It's not actually, but so Bowser's abilities, he sends out these Mecha Koopas. As you can see, they do so little damage. Oh, this is like tragic, actually. I'm actually gonna restart the battle. I'm sorry, I hate to do this.
Sometimes that's how it's gotta happen, right?
Sometimes that happens. Sometimes that happens. And what we're gonna do is, before each fight, we can heal everyone. I forgot how tenuous this is. Shucks. Okay, let's do this quick. Glitter, everyone. Glitter, everyone. That's never happened before. Yeah, classic GDQ line. That was definitely just human error, though. There's no two ways about that. That was just me. Human error screwing up earlier, and then it affecting affecting this level, which, yeah, brain didn't think far enough of that.
Is that the game lets you just restart the battle? It's not like other games where it's just like, oh yeah,
100%.
You screwed up, you're done.
Yeah, absolutely. And overall, this is going to be a significantly less time lost compared to some of those other games like you're mentioning. So we're going to shoot this guy this time and this guy here. Okay. And when she jumps up, shoot her again. She's going to explode herself on the barrels, take tons of damage. And now it's Rabbid Rosalina's turn. All right. It's important to kill these Goombas as well because, again, and I should have realized this earlier, but the reason we kill those Goombas and do that extra jump is because otherwise Rabbid Rosalina would die, as we saw last time, and it gets very difficult if she dies. Because if you don't power up your abilities, like with Luigi's Starburst that he has right here, then she takes like 3 damage per hit, which obviously when you have 1700 damage,
that's a lot of turns.
So it's a lot of turns, right? So, and when I first beat my first iteration of this, I actually did run Bedrock around the whole map. I didn't kill her. I didn't think that was possible. Like, it just seemed crazy to me until someone found that mechanic that, oh no, if you Starburst, you actually do like regular damage, which is really cool. So again, it's that community like helping out, saying like, hey, listen, this is, you can do this, by the way. I was like, oh, great. It saved. Oh my God, what am I doing? Last time. Sorry, I'm sorry.
It's all good. It's all good.
Okay, we're focused up now. We're focused up. I swear I'm half decent at this game. So what I didn't do there is I didn't power them up after literally just talking about it. So instead of doing like, 100 some damage, I did 1 damage 10 times.
Which is substantially less damage.
Okay. Substantially less, yeah. See, we're powering everyone up here. This is what allows everyone to do the extra damage. This is one of my least favorite levels.
Chat is reminding you that you did not heal this time. So be careful with the Rosalina health.
I didn't realize I had to heal again. Rosalina not healed. Chat is the savior here. Thank you for
that. Does seem like a weird. I mean, I get why the mechanic is like that, but it does. Yeah. It is counterintuitive to me.
And again, it's something I don't do normally. So like, although, and I think other speedrunners, I've heard other speedrunners say this, like just because like I know this route very good, or well, it doesn't look like it right now, but typically very good. So when things are like outside, I'm not aware of every single mechanic or like things like that I just haven't had to come across since I probably played the main game, which was last year when this game came out. Last time, exactly. You get it. Cooldown clock. Okay, Bowser shooting. The rest of the speedrun's gonna go so silky smooth. Everyone, you're not gonna believe it. You'll say, wow. Can't believe this guy restarted on Bedrock 3 full times.
Like, definitely in games like this, it's like there's a lot more mechanics to, like, manage, so knowing all of the mechanics in the game is a lot tougher when instead of like, okay, I know exactly the steps I need to do for this fight. If everything goes wrong, there's so many mechanics I have to remember. That's like,
exactly. And my last several runs, like nothing has really gone wrong, like terribly, right? So it's like, yeah, maybe I just got spoiled with some lucky runs too. So, yeah, okay. You should be all right. If you menu after you heal, keep up. It doesn't save when you start the level. Again, one of those like weird, interesting. Thanks,
yeah,
Katie.
it makes sense when you hear that, because, like, the menu would be the same.
Yeah.
But...
yes.
Still counterintuitive.
Hey, yeah, exactly. Okay, so we're going to Starburst this time. Finish Bedrock off this turn. All right. Dash does 50 damage here. And now instead of doing 10 damage, let's see how much we do. A bit more. So we're going to Hero Sight and back up with Luigi because he does more damage the further away he is. And we want to shoot this Goomba and then her. So how much damage do we need to do? 274. Can he do it? No, 40 damage, but that's okay, I think. Because, and I'm just going to play it safe because I'm not restarting. Okay, Dash does it. We did it, folks. We got through it, finally. And Bowser joins our team. So Bowser, AoE extraordinaire. If he doesn't do a ton of damage, surprisingly, which you kind of expect with, Big Bad Bowser. But if he crits, he does a ton of damage. But he can only, his crit chance doesn't get too high with his own abilities. So if you give him some sparks, you kind of have to put a lot of resources into him, like more than I typically do, to get him to a damage point. But he does AoE damage, which is good if you want to hit a lot of enemies. You can attach like those sparks that do like, water damage. Shoot a bunch of fire enemies if they're all grouped up. Like bring them all together, glitter them all in by someone else, water them up, bam. So a lot of fun combos like that, which is a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Okay. I don't want to restart anymore, so I'm gonna focus, but I do want to be entertaining slightly, so because I don't think a lot of people speedrun this game. We're gonna do and we're seeing it's a bad time to do this. Okay. And now this is the modification. So we're gonna try this level for the first time with a slightly different script. So typically this takes 3 turns. KG says on my last speedrun, hey, you can do this in 2 turns. And then it's, again, one of those scenarios where, so I shouldn't say the first time in a run. And then I take it to the lab, play this level. And I find that there's an improvement even to the 2 turns that they suggested. So it's all about like people giving you that idea. It's the classic 4-minute mile. As soon as one person like figures out it can be done this way, everyone's like, it can be improved like kind of instantly, right? So here we go. Hydrating the enemies. That's right. All right, bam, shoot. No edge, and so this is the improvement, or well, the again, because I'm like, it takes too long to put edge in. Too long. Get it. Okay, a crit is nice there. We'll see. KG, I could be wrong here. I think this works a little faster. Potentially. We'll see. With that crit that Mario got, this should be able to dash kill. Nice. And after you shoot, you can't move unless you're Rabbids Mario. Okay, let's try this. Trying something new. And the reason I didn't, again, I don't like, I try to keep the same team between routes. It doesn't happen very often, but the less menuing you can do, like the better.
Yeah,
in my opinion. It just takes up time. So if you can keep, like, ideally you could keep the same squad throughout the whole game. I think actually I go here. So here's that glitter. I'm gonna bring in all these fellas and shoot them. And we buffed Rabbid Mario up with Starburst. The thing is, we just have to make sure we hit all of them here. And we do. And you can see all the X's. That means it will be a for sure kill. We will do this. And maybe this is quicker. KG, this could be a bit slower as well, but again, so with Luigi, there's 2 people left, as you can see in the top left. And we want to shoot the further away one because it does 1,400 damage, which is like absurd amounts of damage on easy. Again, can't stress this enough. If you play on like medium or hard, these champs do not take, these enemies don't take one hit. They take several hits. So game gets a little harder. Game gets a little harder. Oh, nice. I can do this. Oh, okay. Boom. All right. So the new strategy worked. That saved us a full turn. So again, thanks to KG and thanks to the community for other things like that, like where they say, hey, can you do this faster? Or here's an idea to do it faster. And you go, let's test it out. And we do. There's a person in the Discord, I believe the name is like Jiro. And what they do is they play the game, like they beat the game and they take out like the max level characters. And then they go back and try to find like the minimum turns you can beat each level with like, while you're juiced up. And so some of those concepts also apply to the speedrun as well. So kudos to them for putting in a ton of work. They don't really speedrun the game, but they do like lowest turn count, I think is what it's called, LTC, which is really cool. Cool. Another thing that I like about this game as well is like, you know, in most games there's collectibles, of course, like you know what the enemies do. Not only does this game have that, but it doesn't take itself too seriously. It tries to make it like pretty fun. Like it's voiceovered and they're not just like this enemy does this damage and is, you know, but they try to spice it up, make it a little funny. I don't know. And I'm an old man. I think it's kind of funny. So here we go. The only thing we have to worry about here is, so far you can see these enemies roaming around. There's a Goomba that we're going to pass, and they can have, if they dash you, because they can hit you from kind of a bit away, you know, you lose time. You enter a battle with them. And if I wanted to, like in the main game, if I was just like not caring about time, I'd fight them to gain XP and such like that. But I'm going to wait for this Goomba to turn around, because if I get in that battle, you know, it loses a solid 30, 40 seconds. So it's worth saving that time. And again, we're far enough in, and if this was an actual run, ooh, this is good timing. This ghost here also just can ruin your day. I think Edge is faster in the level because she can take out both enemies, so you do less pad jumping. Okay. I see.
So it's kind of like does the less movement account for the menuing?
Yes.
Both before and after, which is
100%. And again, that was my first time trying that. I can't tell you definitively yes or no, but we had to go back to the lab and try it out. And then at that point, though, too, with this run and like a lot of speed runs that are this long, you know, it comes down to like, are you going to be dedicated enough to like do this run again, assuming you don't mess up? And you know, again, real time. This is about a 2-hour 20-minute run to save those 7-8 seconds. You know, and while sometimes I'd like to think I have better things to do, clearly I don't. So, and I think a lot of speedrunners would agree with me, like, life's busy and stuff, but, and then they do stuff like this, which is why we live and why it's fun. But, so here's an area, we got to reach an area. As you can see, we're short, but we're going to use one of these footworks and make it there. Items are busted in this game, especially those footwork ones, so. All right. It's after this planet, by the way. We'll take our first break. We still have quite a few, battles to go, but just a heads up there, we will be taking a break of some kind here. Yep. We're going through what planet So now we got to stop and get the, at the shop, we got to buy some more items. I just said items are busted. We got to buy some more. 1 cooldown clock, extra dashes. Ooh, it's on sale. Perfect. 4 of those footwork things. The salesperson, you know, the merchant in this game is called Salesbot, like plus tax $9.99 or something like that. Just an interesting name for a robot. Also got this. Just some puzzles we got to do to get to the next level. So we're entering like the final stage of this this planet, and it's split into 2 parts. The first one's all about surviving, and the second one's about killing some dark mess eyes. So those things that you just saw me throw an egg at, we have to kill those. And unfortunately, they make it it's a little easy because of, remember those grenades we talked about? So you can do like AoE grenades that surround you with damage. Those dark mess eyes can be killed by those, which makes the game a little easy if you can get there. Even on like hard mode, this would be a 1-turn. Or demanding mode, this would be a 1-turn fight for sure. It's called Roots of Corruption because we're in a tree right now. I didn't get back to all the different archetypes of each character, but that's okay as we get to this next fight. And so our last boss fight, we have to restart 3 times.
First
Not doing that this time.
Every time.
Gotta pay attention here. First, exactly. None of this, I've never seen this before. All right. Oops, well, okay. And so what I just added to Rabid Rosalina, which is really strong, is the ability to sleep people for 2 turns, which is just when we have to survive, like the only goal is to survive, not to kill. It's really strong. So we destroyed those dark mess eyes. Now we just have to survive for like 5 turns, as you can see in the top left. And when you can sleep people for 2 turns, I mean, that essentially takes 2 of those turns away, which is just like really strong. But we're not going to do that just yet. We want to find the most opportune time to do that. Someone moved in Mario, so I used his ability. If someone moves, he shoots him. He can eventually get charges up where he can shoot 2 people if they move, and so on and so forth. So we're just going to hide from this person because it's easier to do that. Again, my first run, I was killing all these guys, and then KG's like, yo, just sleep them. Oh, yeah, great idea. These Wild Claws, these Tony the Tigers do tons of damage. See, they're all going to get close to me, but here's where now we're going to sleep them because I don't want to take tons of damage. And we're just going to run away. And again, knowing who you're switching to next is, again, one of those key things I'd like to think I do pretty good on, like in my runs. It, again, saves a second or 2 every level. Nothing huge. But enough. And we're just going to do this. And then we're going to protect Peach. So she is going to take some damage. I don't really need to do this, but it just saves some health, as we saw that sometimes missing health can just screw you up later. So that was part 1. Now we're on to part 2. Which Mario Rabbids game do I like more? Good question. I like this one. I think this is just a straight up improvement gameplay wise. There are like a few things, like I don't mind the grid system in the last one, but this game is a bit more. By the way, we're gonna use a Toxic Quake, use a bomb, destroy all these eyes. Pretty simple stuff here. I just think there's more flexibility, and I kind of mentioned earlier too, it's just like, you can do more cool things with the extra movement. I think they made the archetypes of each character like a bit more defined. So everyone kind of has more or less, different play styles. And I just think that's better. I like the open world, as we're about to finish this boss fight here. And yeah, so this game I think is just an overall improvement. There's so many more with the sparks, like there's so many more combinations of items and champs and the team that you can put in. You're not stuck with Mario. So I don't get the argument of how this game is worse than the first. Okay, we're about to switch planets now. I was told that this might be a good time for a break. We're about an hour and 11 in, so I can enter the ship. As soon as I enter the ship and it goes black, do you want to hit the pause the time? Okay, sounds good. It'll be in about 6 seconds here, 5 seconds maybe, if this load screen goes quick. And that's why we count in game time. Ready? And pause. All right. And I'll just hang out here in the menu screen here.
So during these longer runs, we like to have breaks every about hour or so, just so everybody can get up, stretch, get some water, anything they need to do so they don't miss some gameplay. Just before we go to the break, a quick reminder, if you missed out on any of our other Hotfix shows or our past events like Flame Fatales, be sure to check out the VODs over at youtube.com/gamesdonequick. With all that said, we'll take a quick break and we'll be back in just a few minutes with more of the run. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Games Done Quick Hotfix. Today we are showing Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope speedrun. We are in the middle of one. I'll just hand it right back over if, whenever you're ready, if you just want to give a quick countdown so we can restart the timer.
Sounds good. Let's do that. So we're entering planet Terraflora right now. So we'll start the timer in 3, 2, 1. All right. This planet, very cool. This is where we get the Wiggler boss fight. There's only 5 fights on this planet compared to 7 from the previous one. Let's hope we crush it here. As a reminder, this speedrun, like real time, is around like 2 hours 20 seconds or 2 hours 20 minutes. But we capture the in-game time because these load screens, as you can see right now, do take some time and they kind of vary from system to system. So we're not going to break it today because of an earlier mishap on one of the boss fights, but all is good. All is good. As you can see, Cursa, the storyline is Cursa is this new villain, and she's spreading this dark mess around, and it's ruining all these planets, all the nature in them, and so we have to go destroy Cursa, which gets rid of all the goo in the world. All right, so let's switch our squad up. And what we want to do is buff up his weapon stuff here, his reset. Okay, hold on. I got it. I think that's good. Okay, so Mario's going to start with a Starburst, which buffs everyone's attacks. And then we're going to switch to a Rabbid Mario, I believe. And he's going to go here and do this. We'll shoot these barrels. So you can see these barrels, they do like splash AoE damage, which is really good. It blows people away. We're going to move Luigi over here and shoot. Again, the further away Luigi is from someone, the more damage. So we want to shoot the farther person away. There's 1,000 damage there. And then we're going to use one of these spark abilities and make sure we can grab these folks here. And then we're going to shoot them all. Again, Rabbid Mario, that short range specialist, does a ton of damage if you're close up. And this glitter brings people, so it doesn't matter if they have the tube, you're getting here. It's a disco ball. You want to be where Rabbid Mario is, and that's what we're doing here, folks. So I'm going to stand here, smoke all these people. They're going to take a ton of damage. And then we're going to go to Luigi, and one of the things we changed is his hero sight. So his range is super long, so we're going to shoot this guy. 1,200 damage. That's okay. We're going to shoot this guy as well. 1,250. So a lot of damage from Luigi. Long range specialist doesn't have a large health pool, right? So you have to keep Luigi at the back if you do plan on playing him. He seems like he didn't take a ton of damage there. Okay, and then one more person here, and level is finished here. Cool. Now we got some a bit of open world stuff to do. That was the man. Thanks, Guck Duck. Thanks for tuning in. This planet is so pretty, and I kind of like I said at the beginning of the run, I and maybe other speedrunners feel this. I just feel bad running through this game because it's so nice. The music's really good in this game. The visuals I think are like good for Mario games. You know, it's not realistic, but like the animation's done well. The side characters, like it's goofy. It doesn't take itself too seriously. You have to make sure you get this flag at the beginning because these flags are your checkpoints. You can teleport to them, and it's one of the only times we need to actually get a flag. One of 2 times, I believe. All right. again, just tuning in. There's 9 characters you can play from. You can, whenever you go into a fight, you can only use 3. So from the 9, but then again, in the main game, I think there's like 30 or 40 sparks, or like, let's just say 30, because I think that's a bit more safe number. So the combinations of and play styles that this game allows you to do is a lot of fun. So for instance, which we won't see in this run, is there's sparks that create enemies that become on your team. So that's a bad description of it, but like I can create those Tony the Tigers that we saw earlier. You can create one and it fights for you. And I loved those. I used them in every fight because not only do they do damage to the opponents, but they absorb damage because enemies seem to hit them more than they hit you. So that was like my strategy, and it's still my strategy. Like when I play the DLCs, and they're like my favorite sparks. You just get, now it's instead of 3 people, you got 4. You got an extra person. You can't control them; they move on their own. And sometimes the the NPCs, their brains aren't as wrinkly as us humans, but that's okay. And right now we're just going through Terra Flora and hitting some switches to make these bridges appear. Nothing too fancy. It looks a little easier when you know exactly where you're going. When this game first came out, there was people like I believe it's Jaden the Red Fox in the community found a bunch of glitches that were like, oh wow, this is going to be speedrunnable for sure. They quickly patched those out, so there's no more glitches unless you go back to the 1.0 version, which I don't think anyone has done. But there's a world where if this run does get shorter significantly, you'd probably be through these glitches where you can just like skip half the level, go right to the boss fight. Then the question is, are you going to be strong enough for that boss fight? Who knows? Cool. We just gotta... Would you stay there? Great. Yes, these Tony the Tigers, I would say they're great. Those pets are pretty great. All right. What do we got? We've got glitter here. We want Zephyr Quake here. We want to Starburst and Reflector to 4. So again, Reflector, the active like reflects damage back at people, but the passive does an extra like 5 to 10% more damage on your weapon. So pair that with Luigi, who stands back pretty far, and you got yourself a lot of damage. So that's kind of things you have to like running those numbers. How much damage can Luigi do at what distance? If we buff it up by an extra X%, can we kill these enemies here? So you can, there's some levels that I've, tried to break down math-wise and stuff and try to get it as good as possible. And some, it doesn't really matter. All right. And this jump is not always the most secure. There we go. That's okay, because we can do this. Ooh. Chucks. What we're gonna do is this. I kinda didn't mess this level up enough to do anything wrong, but okay, so we use that hero sight. If someone moves in Luigi's vision, he shoots him, and since his range is super long, that extends to his hero sight. So this enemy, for instance, just used an ability that took away our weapons. So now we can't shoot with those guys this upcoming turn. Not a big deal because they shouldn't have much health left, and we should be able to dash them. But again, so your enemies do have the similar abilities to what you have as well, which makes positioning a little interesting and fun. And we're gonna use the Zephyr Quake, and what it does, instead of poisons them, which we saw earlier, it hits them away. And in fact, we position here so it knocks them off the edge. So since I can't attack and they have very little health, I'm just gonna go down and dash. And there's a way to do that without doing that, but you kind of have to get a crit there. And that's those, crit chances that you kind of miss as well. Or if you hit, it's great.
Does
not. Again,
does knocking them out of bounds
do
a percentage damage, or is it just an insta kill?
Ooh, actually, I don't know about what it does damage. I've never actually calculated it myself of like if it is percentage or if it's a flat. I feel like it is percentage, but that's a good question. I want to look into that actually. In that instance, I just know the only thing I need to know is the speedrunning is it kills, therefore
totally
do.
valid.
Just kidding. Again, like I mentioned earlier, just because like I know this route pretty well, but like some of the deeper mechanics, but some mechanics like that I don't encounter, I don't want almost to know, because it's like, hey, that's just useless knowledge for me. But that I can't fit all that in my 1 gigabyte of RAM brain, right? So gotta make sure whatever's in there is important. All right, we got the Wiggler boss fight up next. So let me explain the Wiggler boss fight. So a Wiggler's on the side of the train, and he's got these dark mess eyes on him, and our job's to clean those dark mess eyes. So we're not killing the Wiggler, we're killing the parasitic dark mess eyes on them. Now, where the randomness comes in is we're on a train and they're beside the train. They can position, they're huge, they're a giant Wiggler. They can be either at the very back of the train or at the very front of the train. Oops, what am I doing? And it's random where they go. So at the very back, I consider that like position 1. At the very front is 4, and you can guess the in between. So if the Wiggler ever goes to position 1, we've rolled a bad, RNG. So we're praying for a not 1 here. But if not, ideally we want like a 2, then 3, then 4, or a 4, then 3, then 2. Those are typically the quickest. But let's see what we get here. The first turn's typically always the same. Pretty sure it's percentage, because later, okay, Kagey's the number person. Okay. Oops, nope, I screwed that up. So we're gonna see something here, but we're not gonna do this. So that's the 3rd position, and they're going to the 4th. I have to actually restart the battle because I forgot to go into the menus and change things up. So we're actually putting Bowser, and Rabbids Luigi's going in for one of the first times in the game. For the first time in the game. So we get to see some Rabbids Luigi, and it's very important that Rabbids Luigi's in here. So we want Ethering. We're also going to see a pretty slick Spark. So this makes you invisible, so the enemies just don't see you. But you can still do some damage, and it's great. Oh my gosh. All right. So the first turn's pretty standard. Okay, let's see where this Wiggler goes. So they're in the 1st position. Now they're going 2, 3, go 4. And they're in the 4th one. Okay, so it makes this first turn a little longer, but it potentially reduces the next turns. And I say potentially because if they go like 1 after this, that means they're going all the way back, which means we have to move all the way back, and it gets very annoying. So this first turn, like I said, always the same-ish for Mario. What we're gonna do with Bowser, we're gonna make him invisible because because there's actually some enemies on the back of the front of the train. I can't remember which is. I think we're at the back right now. We're going to the front. And we want to jump here, but you see he's like a ghost, so the enemies won't see him. Even if I shoot, don't matter. It's kind of nice. And since I upgraded it, the reason why I fed them the sparks is because now he's invisible for 2 turns, which is great. And as we saw earlier, we do not want our champs to die. And we want to do this to kill someone as well. And then we take a Rabbids Luigi, and Rabbids Luigi throws a boomerang. And again, it can hit up to like 9 targets, which is going to be valuable because you see there's only 3 dark mess eyes. We just destroyed 1, but so 2 dark mess eyes you can see on the Wiggler up there. Eventually, they're going to get a lot more. And we will need to... Can I hit them here? Yes. So we're going to hit 2. Pop, pop. So now we're going to enter, again, a Mario... Most boss fights, we're going to enter the 2nd stage here. So this guy's going to shoot, but then they're also going to use their ability that if I move within that range, I get shot. But it doesn't count for Bowser because, again, he's invisible. All right, let's see where the Wiggler goes. 3, stay. Nice. Okay, cool. So this means the only thing I need to do is move Rabbids Luigi a little bit. This is really good so far. And I'm probably moving more than I need to. So we're going to kill those 3 eyes. And again, Bowser does big AoE, so we don't even have to move him. And we want to shoot these eyes. Boom. Okay, we're on to the 3rd stage already. I'm just going to end turn. Okay, we want them to move back just a little bit, not a lot. That's what we want for the Wiggler here. Win debt with the raid. 86 viewers, thanks. Okay, perfect. So this is arguably, might not be arguable, the fastest way to do this, the Wiggler. Let's just see where Luigi can hit. Ooh. We need Rabbids Luigi to hit all the very last one. Yes, okay, this will be fine. So this fight, again, can go pretty bad. It's gonna go pretty good for us right now. Pretty good. Okay, great. Ooh, okay. That was a great Wiggler fight. I wish if this was a real run, I'd be very happy. Because it went from 4, the furthest up, then 3rd, then 2. Sometimes you get like a 4, 1, 3, and you just have to move your characters around a lot more. So yeah, it just kills you. Never restart worthy. At least we're not at that point just yet. I don't think. I don't remember what the world record one has for what numbers they have. This should make up for the Bedrock fight. Yeah, I like your optimism. It wouldn't if this was like a legit run. It was that bad that I messed up, but it definitely does a little bit. I'll say that. Sometimes there's hidden objects and stuff, and you gotta find them like that. This here, the game's relatively accessible. So usually with those purple things that I just hit right there, you actually have to mash your ZR button, but there's a setting, and it's just an accessibility feature that says, hey, if you just want to hit it once, that's fine. Which is good, because, there's some people can't really do that because you kind of have to mash it pretty fast. So I appreciate games that think about that accessibility angle.
For sure. Yeah, games that add those kinds of accessibility options are always, like, really just, like, above and beyond in my eyes. It's like you are thinking about everybody who might want to enjoy your game and not just, this one subset of people.
Yes, and for what I'd say, like, some people would consider like a relatively, I don't want to say easy mechanic, but a mechanic that most people can do, but like not everyone, right? So it's like, it's just nice that that's a thing that's included. So, kudos to the developers for sure for small things like that. On top of the rest of this game being absolutely beautiful. We're just pushing a barrel of some juice or something. We'll just call it juice. Oh, I'm looking around too much, trying to show you and stop my movement. But that's all right. Just doing some puzzles here. So there's only 5 fights, like I mentioned, in this planet. But there's so much like movement and stuff, and we're gonna get to, like, a puzzle later on that the planet's actually like the second longest. So it kind of goes to show how much, I don't want to say unnecessary movement, but for speedrunning, unnecessary movement for sure. Because, these puzzles might be hard the first playthrough and maybe the second one if you kind of forget it. But that's every speedrun has those mindless parts where you just got to hit some buttons and do some stuff. Yay! Yes, absolutely. Huzzahs in chat. Okay. The next level is actually, okay, so one of my favorite enemy in this game is, and I'll give the correct title as pronounced by the game, a Goomba with a pot on its head. And it's exactly what it is. It's a Goomba, and it's got a pot on its head. And what's interesting about the pot is it reflects all damage that it receives. So the only way to kill it is by dashing it and then throwing it off the edge, which is pretty bad. It's pretty morbid. So we have to use a lot of dashes here. Yeah. So Edge is the dash queen in this game. So let me focus here for a second and let's do, I don't even think this is necessary, but oops. What are we doing here? Okay. So we're gonna eat it. So what you can see at the bottom of the screen is that Dash has 4 dashes currently. They can dash 4 people, but if I use this cookie, now they can dash up to 6 people, which is really cool. And it's gonna be important. And with one of Edge's abilities that I just gave with the skill tree is that every time you dash, it makes your movement a little longer. So you can dash people, move further, dash people, move further. So it becomes this really big combo effect. And while Goombas don't take damage from these dashes, you can see, I have to pick them up and yeet them off the edge. Yeet! And we have to do it a lot. It allows us to try to finish this map a lot quicker. And each subsequent dash does, a good chunk more damage. Actually, we're going to use Rabbid Luigi here than the last. So there are some levels where I'm like, you know what? Not in the speedrun, but when playing normally, that I'm just going to use edge and dash them like 6 times in a row, and each one does like 20% more than the last. Like, it's absurd. So you do a ton of dash damage, which is really cool. As we're gonna see here, even though the damage won't go through because these Goombas got these pots on their head, and you can't damage them. So standing, like where I'm standing, is also important because it lines them up so we can do this. Ooh, oh no. Did this kind of mess up? It kind of did. Shucks. Okay, I'll have to do a slightly slower variant, but that's okay. So you can dash for 3 people in a line. So I didn't correctly line up, despite me saying that it's important to line up where I lined up. I missed it by a few spots, it looks like. So we're gonna do this. I wanted to show you this other thing too, but darn. That's okay. So I have a slight new route. So see how I can only dash one person here, but if I dash this person, it extends my range, and so therefore I can just keep dashing. I got my last dash here. Perfect. And there is a way, if I lined up properly at the beginning, we would save maybe about 10 seconds, but hey, okay. Comes and goes.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
And they do a lot of damage.
It's just kind of like how it happens, right? Like sometimes you get the 10 seconds and sometimes you don't.
Sometimes you don't. Yeah, the game didn't like you that time, or you mispositioned just a little bit. And there's all 16 Goombas with pots on their head, eliminated, yeeted off the edge. We only have one more battle here in this next one, and it's a non-fighting one. You don't have to fight. You don't have to kill any bosses because we already killed the Wiggler boss, and which is a super fun boss battle. And so this one's more about just movement. But before we do that, you're gonna see all this water on the ground spouting up, and we have to cover all these holes with these rocks and those barrels that we saw earlier, or those crates. Oh, bonked here. Oops. Okay, we're gonna destroy that. And move this block down. We need to, pretty much there's all these water spouts kicking up, and we need to plug them all up so that they destroy the main spout. The spout becomes so large that it just shoots through. Oop, okay. And it gets us to our final fight. Even puzzles like this, while I wouldn't say these are challenging, on your first go through, it just might take a hot second to figure out what to do, and then how to do it, because there's kind of some hidden rocks and all this fun stuff. And then when you speedrun, of course, it's just like, what's the most optimal way? And like timing yourself doing just this section here, which is, not the most fun thing to do when you're trying to speedrun, is just put some rocks on some holes rather than like the fights, which are like a little bit more intense. So this is one of like 2 times where you kind of, oh geez, what am I doing? Practice outside of combat stuff. I think I do that. No, I messed up. That's all right. Outside in the real world, all of them have the same movement speed, all that fun stuff. So there's no difference there. Get to lower this ladder. Do this here. I'd like to think, though, whoever's your leader. So right now it's Rabbid Peach, obviously. They give you, that's the one you hear, when they run. You press speed burst. I think her and Rabbid Mario have the best quotes. So if I had to lean one way, I like having one of those two as my leaders, just because it makes the game a little bit more entertaining. Rabbid Peach is like the poster child for this game. If you see all the advertisements and stuff, so. Again, watch the cutscenes if you do get the game. This game also always goes on sale, including the DLCs. Tons of content. So there we go. We plugged up all the water holes, and now we are onto a map called Spout Forth. And there's these big barriers, essentially these dams, and we have to just destroy the dams by throwing bombs at them. It's the only time these bombs show up, I think, in the main game. So we are truly just like bombing the Hoover Dam. How many rabbits have I eaten so far? None, but stay tuned for when Bowser goes nuts. Just loses it and starts eating, gets a little taste for rabbit. So this one's gonna be 2 turns. And it's mainly a movement one. That's why we kind of, but we also need to protect our folks from super effects. That's why we put in Peach, because she has that protectability, and that protects against super effects as well. So what I'm gonna do is grab this bomb here, and I'm gonna throw. Oh, okay, it worked. Oh, okay, the indicator went away, but and what you're gonna see is the little cutscene here. Then we're gonna go to Peach. We're gonna protect, and we're gonna say, okay, so now we have these 2 shields protecting us, so it blocks 2 hits. And these squashettes, these big pigs, if they hit you, they send you flying in a gust of wind and knock you off, and it screws up your movement and stuff. So it's really important that you do protect. And watch how far, like Rabbid Peach and Peach can fly pretty far, so their movement's pretty good. So there's one thing to keep in mind. Good dialogue and lore will carry a bad game. Yeah, if that's what you're into, for sure. If that's 100%. I don't think that's the case here. I think the game carries itself. But I agree. Okay, so we're gonna get shot here. It's fine. We could have ethering there, but then Peach gets shot. We're gonna pick up this bomb. We're gonna go here, and this is kind of the secret sauce to this level here. Is we're actually not gonna destroy the second barrier. We're gonna destroy the third one. And by doing that, we need someone who can fly far, fly straight, land in the reservoir, and then we can't hit it yet. So we're gonna use the item that extends our movement to the very end. There's not gonna be a cutscene because the game's like, clearly no one would do this, so we're not gonna send a cutscene there. And then we're gonna destroy the second one, and then the game just like, it doesn't know what to do because it does a cutscene here, but then it's like, yeah, it's still your turn. You have to destroy the third one. And it takes a hot second to do. And so, and you can't skip this, but this gives you a little idea of who Rabbid Peach is. I'd skip it if I could, but she's the queen. Queen Bee. It's... So is this any percent run? Is there an active 100% run community? No, there's this is an any percent run. There's no 100% community. They would have to be in respectfully insane to do that. There's so much in this game, all the sparks, but I've not heard of anyone legitimately trying a 100%.
No.
Cool. We are on two.
I was gonna say because you were saying there's a lot of side quests, so 100% would be like all side quests. Like all extras and everything, right?
Like not to the same degree, but like, you know, think of like any open world game's just gonna have a ton of side quests, you know, like you think of like, and not to the same level, people are gonna yell at me for saying this, but like the Zelda games, like the Tears of the Kingdom and stuff, like there's so many side quests. The map is much bigger than that, of course, but like that you just think of it and you just think, wow, this is like
like 14 hours or something.
So this exactly, and so I mean, if someone wants to try it, like you will get a world record your first try, if you have video proof of it, of course. But yeah, it's not something that I would do. A little comparison between Rabbid Peach and Taylor Swift in the chat. That's, you know, that's a fair comparison. Both queens of their own respective industry. Okay, we got glitter here.
One cool thing I did. I guess I should wait for your menu. I don't want to distract you. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, 1 second, yeah. I think that's good. Okay. Yeah, okay, yeah, I think I can potentially talk.
One cool thing I have been noticing from some of the longer games, like games where just any percent is so long, or for longer categories, is that they've started to allow breaks for them. So, I know Xenogears 3 is one of them. It's like a 6-hour any percent or something, or maybe I'm misremembering, but it's such a long run that they're like, you get a 30-minute break, you have to keep streaming it, but you get 30 minutes, go do whatever you need to do, and then you can come back. And you can take that whenever you want.
Interesting. I've never heard of that, but that's like, if 100% were to happen with this game, in my opinion, that's
one of them. Yeah,
there would have to happen.
I don't remember what game I saw this, because there was a second one. I don't remember what game, but I know it was like a huge category, and they're like, look, you know, here are the segments. Basically, you do the segments. They don't have to be done in the same stream. They don't have to be done on the same day. Have at it. So it's like,
Okay.
you know, it's like a 20-hour
Interesting.
speedrun or something. They're like, here's your, you know, your 4 segments or whatever. You go speedrun a 5-hour segment and then figure out your life from there, and then do your second segment, kind of thing.
You know what? I like that the speedrun community did that, because it's like, hey, listen, people want to potentially speedrun this game, but we can realize that it's unattainable, really, you know, within one sitting. So
Yeah.
I love that. That's fantastic.
And like,
That's truly
sure,
fantastic.
I'm sure some people could do like a 20-hour speedrun, but like, it's just not healthy.
Yes.
It's not the kind of
Yeah,
thing you want to
exactly.
promote on a regular basis. So it's like, here you go. This is an accessibility option for you, which we kind of were talking about earlier. It's like, you want to do an 100% speedrun, go for it. But we're not gonna restrict you in that you have to sit down for 20 hours.
Exactly, because at that point, like, what are you rewarding there? Are you rewarding someone's patience, you know, to do 20 hours, or are you rewarding someone beating the game fast? And you want, I don't know, like, I think, yeah. So I like that. That's a thing. That's really cool. Okay, cool. That last fight, I did have to restart, and that's kind of just like a weird. The NPC just acted a way, maybe does it one every 10 levels, kind of random. But there's no real reason why. Forbidden Memories 100%. Oh my gosh. That would be absurd. As someone who took 14 years to beat that game. If that's Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories
Almost
you're talking about, of
certainly,
course. All right. Cool one. Okay, yeah. I remember we got... Anyways, I have a story, but that's one of my favorite games of all time back in the day. Played for sure. Okay. We're switching out. We need Rabbid Rosalina's damage here. So we're doing this. We're getting on the reflector because we need her to do some damage. Oops, that's not the starburst. We gotta refund Inui duration. And... oh, shoot. Yeah, let's fix this. We're gonna fix this really quickly. We're gonna menu for a little bit longer. That's what we wanted to do, actually.
Can we decide this after?
All right, so you see these buttons here, and that opens up these pipes. It's really important, so that the characters can go through them. But like Rabbid Mario has to stay on that button until you know, they're through out of the pipes. So another little mechanic in the game that does happen. They kind of include those buttons that you see in the game within the levels, and by now you would have seen enough buttons that you understand it. And I screwed this up on my world record run, so I promised I wouldn't screw it up here. Let's try to... we do this, we dash. Oh, it doesn't kill, but that's okay. It's not ideal, but that's okay. And we're gonna sleep those guys. Rabbid Mario's just gonna go here and shoot this guy behind... well, full behind cover. Again, a little strong. But that's all right. So these champions spawn other allies, which is really, really strong. And here's like an ice Tony the Tiger. So if he gets near you, on his turn, he freezes you so you can't move. You know, those water Tony the Tigers we saw earlier, they or Wild Claws, maybe I should call them the real name, is they do splat. They get pent up energy, and then they do a bunch of splash damage, which really hurts. So. And we'll kill this person now, because we just had to kill them. Cool. So we're on the planet called Barandal Mesa right now. And Barandal Mesa has 2 levels that are just survive levels, which in a game like this, where we don't want to survive, we want to just start going in and killing stuff. But this game tells you, like, hey, relax. You gotta take your time and just wait it out. So you have to find, like, what's the fastest way we can wait something out, right? Is it by killing enemies? Is it by putting them to sleep? Is it by completely ignoring them, just taking some damage? So I'm not convinced that these are like the fastest ways, but you know, I think it's pretty quick. But for instance, like 6 turns, and there's no way to speed up those 6 turns, you know, inherently, like make it 5 turns or 4 turns. So this is the second to last planet. After this one, we're gonna take another quick break before the final 3 fights. And what it is, it's 3 bosses to finish it off, including, so there's 2 kind of surprises if you haven't played this game. And then the final one, as we've kind of alluded to, is the big bad curse son that's ruining this game, is causing the plague here. There's a lot of puzzling, a lot of walking in this section here in this planet. Let's see, and we have to get the energy into the power receptacles. I don't know a better way to say it. So we put these little tubes in. We turn them like this. I wish there was a faster way to do it. But I understand when games... Oops. Oh, and another... I guess one small mechanic. While the game isn't very mechanically intensive, you can sprint. But you can't do anything while you sprint. You can't pick stuff up. You can't go on ladders. Oops. You can't enter fights. Oh my gosh. So every time you see me interacting with anything, whether it's a ladder, a fight, you have to stop sprinting right before, ideally as late as you can without bonking into it. Like here, I stop sprint, go down the ladder. Start sprint, for instance. So you're just constantly hitting that sprint button. And sometimes it's hard to tell if you're sprinting or not, because your characters, they run a little differently, but not the most differently. So sometimes you're running, I'm a little slow. Oh God, I'm not sprinting. So, and some more parts right here. Just keep putting them in. Yeah, the boss fights I think are really cool. I'm not going to spoil why, especially the last boss fight is in particular. I remember playing it through the first time. It's one of the coolest fights. It is the coolest fight in the game, let's be real. But and there's a really cool reason why. The speedrun version is a little less cool. Like most levels in this, they're a little less cool when you could just kind of put your head down and run your helmet through them. But when you play it in normal mode or on hard difficulty, you really have to stop and think. Each level, every action kind of has to be relatively calculated, which is, again, just really, really fun. And we're just going to turn this. We'll go like this. We'll drag this. I've always hated this block and you put it on the button because it's just the most useless one. It's just a straight line. There's no puzzle about it. But hey, it's there. And we got to go and move the shipping crates at the top. You'll see, I haven't even talked about Beepo. So this whole game is kind of narrated and run by this I think someone called it a Roomba earlier. And it's a pretty good description of it. So Beepo is kind of the voice of the game since Mario doesn't really talk, and Luigi and the Rabbids. So he's kind of the brains, and then there's another one, I forget her name actually too, another robot that kind of runs the game. And they're actually what we're controlling really, technically, and the Rabbids are kind of secondary. Okay, we have Magic Koopa Mayhem. Not fun level. This is where we just gotta wait it out for 6 turns, but we have to do stuff in those 6 turns. And then it's everyone's least favorite level after this. Quake. Reflector. And ethering. All right. Genie. Thank you. Genie's the other robot's name. We're going to power everyone up. Why'd Beepo happy? Nice. And we want to hit this electric box here. And then we want to... So in Mario Kingdom Battle, the first game, the strategy was take Rabbid Mario, go into the center of the map, bring everyone in with this disco ball ability, which he just had innately, and then just do a ton of close range damage. And this is a good example of a very Kingdom Battle-esque fight. We go in the middle of the map, we bring in everyone because we've upgraded the Spark to have a big range, and then we're gonna just get out of there, and we're just gonna pop everyone. Pop, 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 pop. Look at all that damage. You'll love to see it. We're gonna go like this. We're gonna hero sight over here, so that if anyone moves, we'll see them. So we've killed most people on the map except for this person. Wait a sec. We killed all the people on the map now. Well, I'm going to do this. We skip 2 turns here, so that's why it's good to kill everyone on the map because we don't have to wait for enemies. And then I believe we do this. We're going to hero sight with Mario. And you'll notice we attached a water thing to Mario. Actually, I'm going to do this. And that's because there are water guys that can't have the ability to dash him. If I don't kill him here, that dash would have actually knocked me over the edge and just like screwed up everything. So unfortunately, I had to shoot that person twice with my hero sight, but such is life. Such is life. And these Magic Koopas, what they do is they're immune to everything. Like they're immune to electric, water, all that fun stuff. But they buff up their... Oh my gosh, no. Is it restart worthy? Is it restart worthy? Is it restart worthy? Oh no. Oh no. I used the wrong spark. Could be bad, folks. Only one way to find out. Only one way to find out. Okay, we're gonna call in a bit of an audible here. Oh my gosh. Interesting. Okay, we're in uncharted territories. Kill that guy. Oh no, Mario, kill him, please. Okay, we're. Are we okay? Are we okay? I think we might be all right. We'll see where this Magic Koopa goes. Okay, I think we're okay. I think we're okay. Whew. I think we're okay. Now we want to go invisible so that no one will target Luigi, and it's great. We love it. So since there's no enemies to really shoot close by, we're going to Starburst, and then we're going to Hero Sight, which means, again, Starburst makes my next shots do more, but it also applies to my abilities. So when someone gets in range of him, the damage he does is going to be amplified, which I wish he didn't shoot that person over there. Again, uncharted territories. And then some other people are going to come out. Mario might be in risk of, because he risks dying a bit here. That's okay. So this, I mentioned at the very beginning of the run that Mario gets pretty strong in this run by the end, because his ability to shoot people when they get in his range, his Hero Sight, is now on his like a 0 turn cooldown. So I can use it every turn. So I can do this. And I'm actually going to heal Mario, just because. Or should I Aqua Quake? Ooh, let's Aqua Quake instead. So we're going to create a bomb around us that does splash damage. Isn't going to do much to Magic Koopa. That's all right. Magic Koopa maybe to 700? 400. Okay, nice. Buffs up no one. And battle clear. Okay. So not our best. Okay. Take my energy. Thanks, guys. The energy was received, and that's what got us through that. I sometimes like to collect those bits because we do need them at the end when we fight the last boss. We have to do a bunch of menuing and a bunch of upgrading. So this is like the longest puzzle in the game, for sure, and I'm just gonna say not a fun one to watch. It's just putting these tubes and pipes, and then just switching them up, nonstop. So I'm gonna kind of focus here because if you do mess up, it just takes a little time to redo. But I remember when I first ran through this game without knowing what to do. This took me like an embarrassingly long time, and if you're laughing at that, I'd recommend you try. I'd love to see your first try at this. There's just kind of a specific way you have to move this pipe into that one and then take it away, replace it with this one. So yeah, I believe I like paused my stream even. I was like, I don't think anyone wants to see this. This is bad. Quarter replaces straight through. Put it down on your triangle. Quarter replaces. Oh yeah. So now we gotta get the other bridge. Take this piece up here. Puzzle time. Puzzle pirate. That's what they... Gotta get this triangle here. That was a little bit delayed. And we gotta put this on this block. And we gotta go get that straight piece we just moved. Bring that up. Now, placing things down in this game is definitely like the last mechanic I'm sure they put into this. Oh, okay, that worked really well. But like, typically in games, like when you put something down, they like drop it right in front of their feet. In Mario Rabbids, they're just like, when you press B to drop it, just roll a dice. That's where it's gonna go. So it only really matters here when you place it on the when you kind of need things to go to the side, just like this. But I just think that that's a weird mechanic that is just poorly done in this game when compared to everything else working quite smoothly. And for instance, like, why didn't we just take the triangle down there, down the ladder? Well, you can't take it, you can't go down the ladder if you can't use your hands, and my hands are full. But you can take pipes. All right, almost done this puzzle. And then the last level is called A Foul Windmill Blows. And I think it's widely regarded as everyone's least favorite level, especially on the speedrun side. There's so many enemies, and it's a survive battle. So you can't really speed it up. You can't do it in 7 turns. Like, it'll always take you whatever the 6 turns it is. It's a little annoying. And now these two gotta switch. And that's the end of that puzzle. It should be. As we see all these lights light up, we were looking at that thing there. And boom. All right. One more level. So there's 4 levels left in the game. 4 battles. 4 puzzles, if you want to call them that. And this next one's long, and then the other 2 are... The other 3 of them are kind of... The other 2 are kind of short. And then the final Cursa one is kind of pretty long. Just due to how grand it is. How epic it is.
I know we kind of talked about it a little bit earlier, but like, I really like that they have these open world sections like that. It makes it feel more like a Mario game.
100%. And like I said, when I play this game like on the first run through, and if anyone else does, like not speedrunning it, I would recommend fight that Magic Koopa or that Kamek or whatever up there. Because again, you get stronger and stuff, and like that fight is going to be complete. It's its own unique fight. It's not going to be the same as any other like open world fight. And you'll find more things. There's like mega bosses as well that if you like search deep into the levels, into these planets, that there's like these crazy fights that like will take you probably like an hour and 15 to do, like on a normal or hard difficulty. And so like having those things hidden is like such a great way rather than just like a very linear, 1, 2, 2, 1. All right, we got a very annoying level coming up.
And did you want to take the break before that or after? Sorry.
Ooh. You know what? I'm gonna level these guys up, but let's take the break before maybe. That might be better for time-wise, just so we end with a bit more time. So we could pause the game in 3, 2, 1. We can pause. I'll even go to my menu.
All right.
And this might be
during these longer runs, we like to take breaks every hour, so just so everybody can get up, stretch, get some water, and not miss any of the gameplay. Just a quick reminder before we go to our final break of this show. Your subs, Prime Gaming subs, gift subs, and Bitch Cheered on the GDQ Twitch channel do help support any of this content. So if you like watching these showcases of games that you might not see on any of the other shows, or any of our regular shows like Express Lane after this, tomorrow we've got Game Masters and How to Train a Speedrunner, any of those shows like that, it really does help us put on this content. With that said, we'll be back in just a few minutes for the rest of this run, and then we'll have another show after that.
You don't want to miss it, folks. It's going to be good.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Games Gone Quick Hotfix. We have our Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope showcase, and we've got the final 4 missions, battles coming up. Very exciting. I will hand it over to you, and whenever you're ready, you can just give us a countdown.
Sounds good. I'm just going to open it up here. We've leveled up our Sparks. Folks, there's only 4 levels left. This first one's kind of like just a long one, and then we get into 3 wicked boss battles. Please stick around for them. I think they're really fun, especially the last one against Cursa is a fun time. All right, we can start the timer here in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. All right, this level there's not much to say. The bad guys are trying to kill this machine that I'm standing on. Obviously, our job is not to let that happen. And that's gonna be it here. There's these like electric things on the, you'll see that I'm just going to shoot, and they do more damage to water people because again, it's like Pokemon. There's types and all that fun stuff. Okay, I'm going to try to talk a bit more through this one in terms of a recap. If you're just tuning in, we want to glitter. Okay, we got this person. There's 9 characters that we can play. And I'm going to go through each one and each different archetype really quickly again, because I think it's really fun. It keeps everyone in the know, all that fun stuff. So first up, we have Mario. He's, again, like most Mario games, he's like the average. He's mid-range, mid-health, mid-damage until later. He does a lot of damage. Then we have Rabbids Mario, who's short range, as you just saw, and he does a ton of damage very close up. Then we got Luigi, long-range specialist. The further he is away, the more damage he does. Not a lot of health, though, right? And then we got, as I play my turn, because there's going to be lots of times to talk in between. And ooh, please crit, nice. Sorry. Then we have Rabbids Luigi, who we don't use much this run, and his job is the multi-target specialist. If you want to hit like 7 people at once, 9 people, that's your guy. This turn here, we just go like this. Then we got, who else? We got Peach. She's all about protecting your teammates. So just like kind of an assister, does AoE damage, but doesn't do a ton of damage. Let's be real. Then we have Rabbids Peach. She's kind of also like she's a healer in the game. As I shoot here. And we move on. So she heals, has good movement as well. Then we have Rabbids Edge, who's pretty baller. I'm going to do this. And Electroid, actually. And I'll get to the others in a second here. Oh, did I do a little too early? I might have. That's okay. Maybe. All right, sorry, might have messed up here. We'll see. It's okay if we did, potentially. I was supposed to say that for next. That's okay. Edge is like mid to long range specialist, but her dash is where she shines. She does tons of damage with dashing, and it is a lot of fun like that because it's a different playstyle than everyone else. Then we've got Rabbids Rosalina, who's all about the single target damage. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this and this. One sec. We'll go like. Boom. We'll try to kill this person here. Might not, and Luigi will shoot him, then hero sight. Oh, that's perfect. Can you shoot anyone? No, we're chilling. Cool. So, Rabbids Rosalina, single target damage. Does do AoE and then puts everyone to sleep. Very good abilities to have, for sure. And lastly, we have Bowser, who's all about AoE damage. Not a ton of damage, surprisingly, for like Big Bad Bowser. You'd expect maybe a bit more. Doesn't do a ton, but big AoE damage. So that's kind of the archetype of each character. On top of that, there's like 20-some sparks that do a whole whack load of things. Some give you like types, like water type, make you fire, and then you can, and some enemies are weak to that and stuff. So there's like not infinite possibilities, but there's a lot of possibilities in this game of like how you want to tackle levels. There's some, and the only spark I'll mention, which I mentioned earlier, is ones that spawn enemies for your team. They create these wild claws. They create some of these bad guys that then fight for you, and it's great. I'm gonna heal with Mario, I think. At this level, again, we have to wait the full allotted time in terms of we have to play 7 turns out or whatever it is. That's just the way it is. It's kind of unfun. Oh yeah, sorry, there's Daphne. I totally forgot about the actual boss of this battle. So there's actually fun. After this, there's 4. And Daphne's a little annoying. But that's okay. We still took the break at the right time. All is good in the world. Let's just do this. No crit, no kill. That's okay. And this will be the last turn here. And they don't have enough juice in their system to kill all the health bars of our middle tower. Again, I feel like a broken record saying this, but on hard mode, these guys would not be dying in one shot. So it's significantly harder. This level gets like infinitely frustrating and infinitely hard as soon as you ramp up the difficulty. After this, we're actually going to fight the boss named Daphne. It's kind of like a rabbit, but paired with a vine almost, not a vine like the old TikTok, but like a plant. And so, yeah, here we go. We have to go fight a secret cool boss. And all these fights that I'm demonstrating now are like there's 35 battles that you have to do to win this game, to beat this game, at least that we know of right now, or that we think of right now. With the current route. And we are going to be doing battle 31 here coming up. And it's the boss battle, 3 turns, or 3 phases, I should say, like every Mario boss battle. What's interesting about Daphne, she hides behind these impenetrable barriers, so you actually have to like walk up to her and do some damage. And we find ways around that. So let's go take a look. There's a ways to kind of screw these things up, so I'll try my best to pay attention so we don't have another bedrock situation. If you missed earlier in the stream, I had to reset 4 times in one fight, which is just unacceptable, but we're on a better path now. So we want to do a lot of single target damage, so we're going to put in Rabbid Rosalina, and we're going to give her she should have Reflector and Glitter. And Starburst, Aqua, Quake. Okay, we're good. So we're going to give her the sparks that have the passive ability to make her damage higher. Like give like 30% increased damage on her weapon. Therefore, she can one-shot the boss. Plus, using the Starburst, so now we're bumping her weapon damage up even higher. Like she just does an absurd amount of damage. Single target damage. If we need to kill AoE, this would be a bad time to do it. You see, I can't walk far enough, so I'm gonna have to use one of these footworks here. That's fine. And now we can shoot Daphne, who's all the way up here. As you can see, she's like a plant type rabbit. That's phase 1 done. As somebody who played hard mode, you wouldn't say hard mode was that hard. That said, I was usually a bit over leveled, and yeah, that's fair too. I think like you can increase the difficulty by not training yourself too much. I'll just say like for folks maybe just watching, being like, wow, you just like run through head down, do the most damage. As you know, then DD King, it's so much more than that. You actually have to put in some thought. So I agree, this isn't gonna make you go insane, but maybe a little. Okay, phase 2 done. We just bounced there, a little easy. Phase 2. Okay, I changed up the script again, thanks to the help of folks like KG, a little bit here. So I have to remember what I did. Sights shoots Tony. So Mario can shoot 2 people, I remember. We're gonna do this. We're gonna shoot this. So this Tony, this black one here with the chicken on its arm, its ability, which we'll see in a bit. You know how the ice one freezes. Oh, that didn't kill. Oh, we do this, I think. It brings in people, similar to like how we can glitter and bring everyone together, bring them all in. That's what this Tony does, and it can be very annoying because they do tons of damage. Okay, now the tough part here is I kind of forget exactly where to go, and I think I go beside this pipe. But as we've done a couple times this run, it might just be winging it. Look at this single target damage, all those crits too, and it's darn near guaranteed to crit, which is really nice, just due to her abilities and her moveset. So watch as this Tony the Tiger brings Rosalina in. He's gonna do some damage. It's gonna reflect damage. So we actually use the reflector active to reduce the damage we take, but also send some back. And we kill here. Okay, we're okay. We're gonna be okay. We should be able to end it in this turn. So this used to take 3 turns. Now we're just at a 2-turn thing, as long as I don't mess this up. I just have to make sure I move correctly. So you can do 1 team jump per game, or per round, sorry. Luigi, you can spec him, so he does 2, which is really nice. I was gonna do something, but all right. So I'm going to go like this. I'm going to starburst her so we do some more damage. And then I'm not going to team jump. I'm going to footwork here. Right. Yes. And then footwork here. So this allows me to get to the very top because Daphne is all the way up there. All the way up there. Okay. Oops. And you can only do so many things per turn, so I can't use my sleep ability plus a spark plus shoot plus an item. You can only do 2 per turn, you know, for the most part. So you have to be careful of like which action points you spend it on. Do I want to shoot this turn and jump someone or whatever? And we're going to kill the boss here before we go on to the final planet here. Last 3 fights. And I can't skip this. So we get to see Mario acting like, or Chris Pratt, acting real cool here. Some people say that this Mario character was inspired by Chris Pratt. Some say otherwise. We are going to the last stronghold. 3 boss fights left. Oops. All right. So this last area is pretty cool. It's Curse's Stronghold. So she has 2 bosses waiting for me. 2 henchmen. Who do you think they are? They're folks you know, but not really. They're folks you know, but not really. And some of you already have played this game. So, you know. But I think I loved these bosses when I played the game. And I almost like don't want to skip the cutscene.
Which is always like a good part of a game where it's like, I don't want to skip these, they're so good.
100%. Yeah, it's truly a testament. Like I do kind of hate skipping through these cutscenes, but obviously for the speedrun you have to. All right, who are we fighting today, folks? Maybe I'll little. I can't remember what the cutscene actually looks like 100%. Ooh, spooky. It's Bowser. It's Dark Mess Bowser. I gave you a little sneak peek there. All right. We got to switch some stuff up here, folks. Electroid E3. Okay, we're good to go. So the mechanic that, again, one of those like weird mechanics that changed this fight from like I think it was always a 1 turn, but let me do this. Hold on, I gotta focus here so I don't mess up.
Let's go.
Is you know how Luigi shoots people when he can see them moving? If you use the Electroid Spark where they shock and they seize up while they're shot, that counts as a move. So if you dash someone and hit them in the air, they'll start seizuring for a long time, and then Luigi will just keep putting shots into them. So you get 3 empowered shots, and it's very, very strong. And it's a way to do this in 1 turn. And we will do that right away here, hopefully. So we're going to Electroid here. And we're going to Hero Sight. So Luigi's all juiced up. If someone moves in his sight, he's taken 3 shots at him. And they're going to do a ton of damage. And that's what we want to do. Ton of single target damage. So we have our Rabbid, Rosalina, and Luigi on the case. We want to move Luigi far away because he does more damage the further he is. So we're going to dash. He's in Luigi's sight. And we're probably going to have to shoot with Rabbid Rosalina afterwards. And as he's falling, Luigi's like, hey, someone moving. And he gets him again. And a 3rd time. And it's actually going to crit. We don't need to shoot with Rabbid Rosalina. Very nice. Dark Mess Bowser, done. All right. Who's next, do you think? If we had Bowser here, any guesses maybe in your head? You're going, I wonder who it is. I'll give you a hint. It's someone on the squad that we've played with. It's not Bowser, but we got another Dark Mess energy.
It's not Mallow
Dark Mess enemy. It is not Mallow the Tadpole, sadly. Let's go. All right. It's Dark Mess Edge, folks. The new character. They are pumping up. All we're doing is switching Luigi. Birdo, Rabbid, Yoshi. It's Rabbid Edge. It's much cooler than all of those. We're going to Starburst here. We're going to do the fight works the exact same here. We're going to Electroid. And here we go. All right. We're just going to move up like this. And I like to take Rabbid Rosalina because if Dark Mess Edge does live through Luigi's 3 shots, bop, 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 then Rabbid Rosalina is the best to take a single target person out. But look how cool Rabbid Edge looks over there with the fiery red hair. Look at this. That is slick. All right. 1 dash. Bang. Starts seizing because he got shocked with our Electroid. We're going to take another shot because Luigi's like, hey, someone's moving over there. And let's see. Ooh, we're not hitting high rolls. 6,000 health left. Oh, that's not a lot of damage. We actually might have to take another turn here, but let's see. Now we're going to crit. Rabbid Rosalina's going to finish it off, and that's the second last fight, folks. We have 1 last fight to go. And wait a sec. Hold on, I'm going to actually collect these. Something's going on. We're going to be fighting Cursa next year, folks. And I don't know if you can see the webcam here. But it looks like Curse is taking over the room. It's got the purple lighting in the back now. You know what? We're ready to go. We're ready to fight. Despite Curse putting all these, is trying to get me as well. We have to fight. Now, what's really cool about this final boss fight, which I loved, you control all 9 heroes when you play, which is just really cool. So you have 9 heroes you got to keep track of in a big epic fight. Now, again, the speedrun version isn't nearly as cool as the regular version. But it is a ton of fun. Like when I first loaded into this, I was like blown away. We have a ton of menuing to do. Give me a second to think. We got to do this. We got to put Electroid here. We want Starburst here. We want Pyrogeddon here. And I'm just going to say it out loud. We want Pyrostar here. We want Glitter here. We want Aquanox here. We want Reflector here for the extra damage. We want Cryoblood, we want Gargantuan, and then we want Aquanox to 5. Ooh, shoot. Oh no, we're good. Okay. So I get a star potion at the beginning. I could just use that. Okay, cool. Save some bits. We're just powering up our sparks now because we need to be as powerful as we can. We got to get as juiced as possible, so we're leveling up all these sparks to do just the right amount of damage. And Cryoblide. To level 4. When I got to this fight, I got to use everyone. I'm with you, DD King. When it was like you got to use all 9, I was like, "There's no way. This is unreal," and it's a good time. Okay. We got to do health tree for damage drop off here. This is damage drop off. Peach, reset, then autofill. And then we want to refund dash damage and heal for sleep dash. And I think we're good to go, folks. Okay. Do I need to heal here? No. Okay, so first, there's 3 phases of the fight. The first one is these hands. It's all about these hands. This crew, so everyone gets split into 3 crews though, as you can kind of see. This crew here is like the damage dealing crew. It's like very busted. As you'll see here, I'm gonna shoot the hand. It's all about killing the hands. We don't care about the enemies here. And so this hand is following Rabbid Rosalina around, and if we move, it's in Mario's sight, so he just pops some shots into the hand. Pop, pop. And does a ton of damage, and he gets 2 charges. I have to just check if I can one-shot this, and yeah, I think I can. I'm not gonna risk it, or I am risking it slightly. Since she's like guaranteed to crit, we killed the hand. Boom, done. We have a second hand though we have to defeat, so we got to make sure we're doing that. So these enemies don't play much into this. Those hands again in hard mode do have a lot more health, but now it's time to kill the second one. So there's 3 groups. The next group is Luigi, Rabbid Luigi, and Rabbid Mario. This is the second damage group. Okay, pointed at Rabbid Mario. So this is a fun one here. So what we're going to do is move Luigi away. We're going to move Rabbid Mario the opposite direction. Because now when we go to Luigi, we're going to use his hero sight. Because the further away he is, the more damage he does. So now I'm just going to run around with Luigi. And Luigi's going to take 3 pot shots. And actually what we should have done is Aquanox, but that's okay. And move around like this. So a lot of damage there. The hand only has 2,300 health left. We're going to shoot here. Probably won't kill, of course. And then Luigi's going to shoot. This is going to hide and shoot, I think. because the enemies still move. And we're going to kill the hand here. Boom. Actually, didn't need to hide. That's all right. Okay, cool. That level can get a little tricky. Phase 1 done, by the way. Woohoo! On to phase 2. When, as Cursa's freaking out. Who is this Cursa? Do we find out? Maybe? There is a way that if it points at Luigi, it gets a little tougher, but I figured out a solution. Okay, for Peach, what I want to do here is protect everyone because we do take some shots. Then I want to starburst everyone, make sure everyone's all good. See, everyone has 3 shields around them, so that means they can take 3 hits and they'll take 0 damage and 0 super effects. We want to go Mario Electroid.
Let's go.
Yeah, these definitely are the Dark Mist versions of the Master Hand for sure. One ability that I didn't talk about at all because we haven't used it is Rabbid Rosalina. When you spec her movement tree up a lot, she actually if you dash someone, they fall asleep. So this is just one of those things that saves some time. There's the Squashette here, this big pig. We're gonna dash it so it can't move. It'll fall asleep. We put him to sleep, but we're not gonna shoot it. And did I? Yeah, I did. Okay. And we're gonna shoot Cursa. So on this phase, we're gonna try to do like 10,000 damage to Cursa. We're gonna end our turn here. We're gonna take some shots, but again, since Peach protected them, no damage. And since we put that one Squashette to sleep, all is good. Yeah, I love when people say that, like, oh man, on hard mode, like, this game is completely different, and you're so right. Like, it's not the same game at all on hard mode, even normal mode. Like, all right, you might be thinking, we haven't seen that third group yet. Bowser, Rabbid Peach, and can't even think of the other one right off the top of my head. Because what do I got to do? I got to do this. I'm sure someone will find it here. We just need to do a bit more damage here with these fellas. But the third group is what I like to call the useless group. An Edge. They're just not good boss fighters. They're all low damage. So you'll see as I do some damage here. And then I Aquanox, so I'm gonna guarantee a crit here and some extra damage. Ooh, I hope this crits 2,700. Ooh, this is I wonder if I didn't level something. All right, we're in some uncharted territories, folks. Uncharted territories.
Exactly where you want to be at this point in the run.
Exactly where you like to be. Exactly. So usually that takes it out. So we must have low rolled a bunch, or I maybe menued something wrong. But I think I just low rolled, which truly is the first time that's happened in a run. So, and if Luigi dies here, whatever, we'll be fine because yeah, he's dead. That's fine. It's fine. Okay, so we low rolled super hard there, but that's okay. Or did I not cryoblast? Maybe that was it. I think I know my mistake. Anyways, what we do when we get to this useless group, what we do is very technical here. It's gonna get to them, and I want to end my turn. I don't even want to move them. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of time. You could argue maybe since I didn't kill Cursa here, I should have actually maybe shot them or shot Cursa, but it takes so long. I think that this is actually the shorter method here. I don't think it is. That there wasn't many enemies there. They're so far away. They don't move very good. We'll go back and we'll finish phase 2 right here. We'll just take Rabbid Rosalina or something and do the damage that we need. Okay, phase 3 coming up. We'll need the heal, of course. Got my finger on the heal button. And this is the last phase. This is the end of the run here coming up, folks. I'm gonna heal. Oh, I actually didn't need to. Okay, we're all right. Same thing. Peach is going to protect. Is then gonna do this. And now it's actually important, or slightly important, that you have Rabbid Rosalina go first, because what we're gonna do is be killing these stars. We have to shoot the stars to do damage. As we see, Rosalina's now in the game. She has come out of Curse's body and said, "Hey, listen, I don't want to fight you anymore. This being that's freaking trapped me." And there's a way that Rabbid Rosalina can one-shot this. Let's see if it does 100%. 98. Okay, that's slightly unfortunate because now we're just gonna overkill. But what it does save us is a bit of using the Electro Spark from Mario. So a little annoying, but shouldn't matter really. We're gonna do 100% of damage here. Rosalina is gonna go get away. Cursed Beast. We have to do this 3 times. All right. I think that's... I think we'll just do this for fun. We're in the for fun stage right now. Someone moves. Pop, pop. Dead. That's actually definitely better. I should be doing that all the time. Now we're going to go on to the second damage group. The Luigi, the Rabbid Mario. Call them the Todds. I know some Todds that are useless, but I also know some Todds that are pretty stand-up fellers. Let's do this. I have a hunch that Rabbid Mario's skill tree is wrong, just based off his movement. And that's probably what caused the loss of damage earlier. But that's okay. We're gonna do some. No crits there. Sad. We're gonna take Luigi, not Rabbid Luigi. We're not touching him. And we're gonna shoot the eye from as far away. If we crit, we can get 100%. Let's see, 38.
Nice.
100%. That's great. This is really good. We have one more 100% to go, and we should be okay. We're gonna pass the turn. We're gonna take some damage, but not a ton. And don't get me wrong, folks. We still have the useless crew, and we're gonna do something again very technical, similar to last time. Something that it's frame perfect. If you miss it, you miss it. So we'll have to don't blink, because you will miss it here. We don't care if you take some shots. Useless crew pass. Done. Okay, good. Ooh, tough mechanic. Don't want to screw that up. Take damage. I don't care. You guys don't do any damage to Cursor, really, so maybe there's a route that they do damage, but since they're always third, it just takes... Usually Curse is dead, or it's not worth moving them up in time. Okay, we want to be able to kill Curse here. Let's do this. Okay, so Peach is going to use this item called the cooldown clock. You notice that she can't use her starburst? Now when she uses the cooldown clock, Mario needs to move a little closer. And Peach is going to buff everyone up here. And we're going to dash this guy here to put him asleep, just because it saves us time later. We're getting close, folks. We are getting close. And with Mario, why it was important to not use the Electroid earlier, because now we can use it now. Oops. I swear it never does that. Okay. I don't think this will kill. This shouldn't kill. Oh, it might. Oh my gosh, weird. Don't stop the time yet, but it'll be shortly. Here, I'll let you know. Be ready on that stop timer there, even though we know this isn't a great run. And stop time. Okay. That is Mario Rabbids Sparks of Hope. Ladies and gentlemen, kind of ended quicker. That was actually like a quick Cursa fight compared to usual. But we are done playing the game. The timer stopped. But again, we use the in-game timer versus the out-of-game timer. So we're at like, what, 226? We're going to skip this. All right. So we don't use that timer. That's about 12 minutes slower than the world record. And we're going to check the in-game timer. We have to do that by like going back into the load system here. So I'm assuming it's going to be like, let me just guess really quick. I'm going to go 206, 207 is my guess. It's the third file, 209.54. So we're about 13 minutes slower than our world record pace, but that's okay. But that is Mario Rabbids Sparks of Hope. Again, two things why I think running this game at this time was important was because 1 week ago we broke the 2-hour mark here, so we got it down to 156. And then in 2 days, the third DLC, this game has 3 DLCs. The third one with Rayman comes out, and a lot of people are psyched for that. People who love Rayman, people who love Mario, and this game always goes on sale. So stay tuned for like a sale. I don't get any kickback. I sound like a salesperson, but I just like this game so much. I want other people to explore it as well. Play the full game. As you can see, it took me 30 some hours to beat the full game. So you get your money's worth out of it. So I think that's all for me. I see a lot of people followed my Twitch while this run has been happening. I really appreciate that. I'll try to stream occasionally this game and some others, but yeah, thanks so much. That's kind of it for me. Unless you want me. Oh, by the way, I'll turn the. Let's turn. Curse is defeated. We'll get some bright light up in here. Curse is defeated. The sun is shining on the lights in the background. We're good to go. So That's kind of it for
I
me.
want to say thank you so much for coming on and showcasing this game. It was I think you did a great job, showing off the game, explaining everything, and it's made me want to go pick up the game, which it's always great when you see a game that's so good. It's like I want to do this. So I think you did a great job. I think the game is just so cool. Like obviously I like these kinds of games, so I'm obviously going to benefit a little bit from this, but like. It has so many cool mechanics for games that I just wouldn't expect to see, like having that overworld kind of like free roaming stuff. It's such a cool game, so I really appreciate you coming on, showcasing the game. I had a blast.
Thanks. Yep. Oh, awesome. Thanks for being here along, and thanks for allowing me to run the game. Like you said, the mechanics, I think, are a big part. We just did the brute force strategy, but there's so many strategies of like avoiding people, healing, that we didn't really get to showcase, obviously, for the speedrun. But so there are so many more strategies rather than just like run at them, head first. So,
and it's just... I know we've kind of been talking about it, but like if you think the game's cool and you want to pick it up, obviously you can do that. But just like... If you like the game and you're interested in it, you don't necessarily need to do runs of it. Like you've been talking earlier about people who are coming in and just like I think this would improve it, stuff like that. People like that help so much in every speed run. I don't think they get enough credit. So like if you're just interested in the game, finding strats is also a huge part of speedrunning. So if you're interested in that aspect and you don't necessarily want to do runs, feel free to pick up the game, try stuff out. It'd be a huge help to the community.
Yeah, absolutely.
With that said, I could pick your brain about speedrunning stuff forever. Probably we could go on and on.
Sure.
Huge thank you for being on, for showcasing the game and sharing your passion. You're clearly very passionate about this game, and it's awesome to be able to have people like you on who are just so happy to share the game.
Absolutely, yeah. I had this on my calendar for a month and was waiting for this day. I was very excited to show it, as you could tell, hopefully with the commentary here.
With that said, we do have another show coming up. We've got Express Lane coming up. It's going to be a great show. We're going to take a quick break while we get ready for them, and then we'll have 3 more runs for you tonight. They're RPG games for you tonight, so we'll see you in just a few minutes here with the next show. Have a great night, everyone. From me, anyway. We still have more show.
Thanks.